I think the
Alright.
same two. The same two from last week, actually.
No, I'm here.
Oh, were we
I
short? Oh, that's right. We were short 3 last week.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're short Steve and Trey this week.
Hmm.
Alright. Still waiting on Miri. Right.
But it's definitely still doable.
Oh yeah.
Maybe just a more laid back session. And we could always
Uh,
have people play the missing characters if we want.
yeah. I was gonna say I don't know what you're talking about. Laid back. Last time we were down, we had a
We went
fucking
for it.
fucking showdown.
I'm not sure that fight was supposed to be as difficult as it was. I think it was meant to be challenging, but
It was meant.
Revenants are pretty tough. They're always
Well,
tough.
Yeah.
no one was
Nobody was.
confirming the kills, so they just kept getting
Yeah.
back up. I was like, is someone gonna kill these guys for real? But I was like, oh, we
I
gotta
didn't.
fire.
I didn't even think about it until Sim pulled the torch out, and I was like, "Oh wow!" And then, my favorite part was when uh, Barrel moonbeamed him, and then Sim was like, "Oh shit! I could have been doing something like that."
yeah,
Could have just
for some reason
radiant
I just
damaged them.
yeah, I
Yeah,
just totally brain farted when I got the information from Lou. I was like, all right, fire stops their regen, and I just didn't hear the radiant part or something. I don't know.
I looked
So
at the playback and I did say fire and radiant because I
no,
was like,
I
yeah,
believe that
yeah.
you said it. I like when you, like afterwards. I was like, wait a minute. Now that I think of it, I'm very positive you said it. It was just me. I just didn't process it somehow until well after the fact.
yeah, well, it's fine.
It happens.
If they defeated you, I would have probably just taken everyone prisoner.
Yeah.
Taken,
Yeah, that's
taken
the nice
all,
thing about fighting sapients.
taking all your stuff, throwing you in a cage or something.
I would have been sad about that. I would have been like, "Okay, priority one, gotta get that shit back." There's. It could be bad if that gets into the wrong hands. I don't know.
Yeah.
We have like, I don't know, a handful of extra planar entities just in our belongings.
Wait, really? Jeez. Yeah.
What? No, we don't.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the group's gonna do because we are sort of just exploring the aftermath of Isik right now.
Yeah, I believe that the priority is still to investigate methods by which we can enter the Shadowfell and rescue our comrades.
Right. Methods faster than leveling until someone can cast plane shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you were gonna take Melody to the library and let her work with Chiron. Let me check with Mary, see where she's at.
I just saw her hop into the Roll20, so she should be on Discord in a little bit.
All right,
Dun dun.
I'll give her a minute then. Excuse me. Yeah, I've never been a big fan of the really high level D&D.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't expect it to be really good from everything I've heard and seen, but I just haven't ever done it, and I'm interested to try it at some point. Not sure
Yeah,
when I'll get a chance to, but I'll get one eventually. I've been playing long enough.
for sure. It is a lot of fun, but it does get a little bit. It just gets crazy. You know, the action economy at that point is just it's so out of control that you could have potentially one fight last multiple sessions. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it does seem like it gets a little bit unglued because D&D is like a tactical combat engine and a set of tools for collaborative storytelling.
Yeah.
And at high levels, the sorts of stories D&D is equipped to help you tell and the sorts of fights D&D is equipped to let you have sort of don't match up in a way that's graceful, I think. I still kind of want to see how things come unglued up there, though.
Yeah, it's I don't know if well, it's kind of the same feeling I got when I watched The Matrix, the second Matrix movie the first time, when Neo's supposed to be like this god and he's still just doing kung fu fighting. I'm like, shouldn't you be like just
Just shutting shit down.
mentally like changing the Matrix? Right? No, I'm just gonna kung fu fight some more. It's like I feel like there should be a different type of fight going on at this point, but no, it's just more
Right.
kung fu. So
Yeah.
it's the same thing with D&D. It's like, oh, I'm basically a god, but I'm still just taking 4 attacks per round. It's like,
Right.
I feel like the rules
Well,
should start to change to something new.
if there's no risk, there's no reward. Like if you're not in danger of losing, then there's no, you're not putting
Yeah.
anything on the line. Then that's why I
Yeah.
think like third level to like ninth level is like prime.
Well, you can still get killed at high level. In fact, it's
Yeah.
almost more of like you're fighting with nukes. Like basically, whoever wins initiative is
variant.
probably gonna like friggin' win the fight because whoever goes first is just gonna decimate, or like whoever gets that like save or die spell off. So unless you have protections, like as players, like you gotta know what to protect against and like yeah, what type of damage you'll be dealing with. I guess it depends on the creature too, but it as a DM, it's hard to make or much harder to make a challenging encounter that is neither deadly or too easy at that level. It takes a
Yeah.
lot of experience.
And who has lots of experience playing at that level?
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of experience playing at that level. I have a lot of experience doing D&D, but yeah, most of my games I like to set between like I think 5 and maybe 15 are the most fun.
All right. Well, let's get to it. I think we're all here.
Yep.
Present.
Beryl or Miri,
Hello.
Hello.
greetings.
Greetings.
All right. So I think Sim scribed last week, and it was going to
Yeah.
be Sim's turn this week, but we were going to trade with Gamork, but Gamork is out today. So I don't know if someone else wants to do it or if Sim wants to do it twice.
I'm fine with going again unless people have complaints with me doing that.
Get all the inspiration points.
All the inspiration. It is your turn, so if you would like to do it, you
Yeah. You have first crack at
Have
it, but also
Sure.
if you don't want to do it, I would totally understand not doing it 2 weeks in a row.
No, I'm totally happy to go again.
nice. I would totally be down to read another one of your journals. That was very immersive. I enjoyed it immensely.
All right.
I try.
So, do you want to give us a quick recap of last week, Sim?
All right, sure. I'll go quick, just summarizing instead of reading because I write long form. Last session began as we were wrapping up the fight between the soldiers and the ghouls that we intervened in. Meijun trekked off in pursuit of some undead presence that he detected during the fight, while the rest of us stopped to save a wounded soldier's life and make introduction to the soldiers there. Soldiers identified themselves as being in the service of Lady Softfire and mentioned that they had an encampment to the south. Melody at that point split off to go with them in hopes of learning more about what was going on in the city, and the rest of the tribe followed Meijun, not inclined to let him wander off on his own. Pretty quickly, we found that the presence that had been watching the fight was Zutan, which is someone I don't know, but apparently the tribe knows him, and they exchanged words about what was going on in Issyk. And Zutan mentioned that in addition to the unusual behavior of Revenants, he could lead us directly to the site of a place where they had attacked some more soldiers. We went there, found that 5 Revenants had ambushed and quickly slaughtered 12 more Softfire soldiers, and with a little bit of investigating, we managed to find their tracks leaving the ambush. We followed them to some kind of place where they'd holed up, and they confronted us and very quickly turned hostile and attacked us, claiming vengeance against Anna Kate, who had been responsible for killing one of them. We had a tough fight where we eventually dispatched the Revenants, and then we decided to retreat to the Softspire encampment to catch up with Melody and to hopefully find a safe place to rest. We talked our way in. They had vaguely heard of us from the soldiers we had rescued and from Melody, and we were escorted into the presence of Lady Softspire and her half-elven second-in-command, and thus far have only made brief introductions. We were left there.
All right. Excuse me.
Also, Anna Kate's vendetta guy hit like a fucking truck.
Yes, we have learned, in fact, that Revenants with actual vengeance to pursue are empowered in frightening ways. Those ways being lots and lots of extra damage.
Not to be.
And now
messed
we're
with.
all responsible for having killed them before when we see them again.
It'll be a good time.
Sure. Yes,
I would love to do that fight again, except they all hit twice as hard.
Right.
Maybe we'll run next time.
That's not my style.
We shall
Well,
see.
the interesting thing was, I think, was that didn't we try to like stealth by them or something, and they saw us, and we were all like running past without trace at the time, so they're probably really good at detection or perception or something.
Yeah, I think at that point it was a decent check, but we had also, that's kind of where the tracks ended. So, I mean, we were in plain sight, and they were probably
Okay.
in the buildings, just waiting,
Oh,
Also,
that's right, because we did. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
It just really wouldn't astonish me if they had some kind of supernatural assistance in tracking down the target of their vendetta.
Yep.
Seems totally in theme with their abilities, so...
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Or at least like a ward or something, or an alarm.
Sorry. I just
When you
needed
said
one
supernatural
moment.
assistance, I thought you meant the DM choosing to have them find us.
Oh,
Just
no.
God.
I am not a supernatural assistant.
I mean, you are the god of this world,
Right. What's more natural than that,
the
then?
maker, the maker.
Anything Lou does is clearly a natural occurrence, then.
Yeah.
Isn't it supernatural? Sort of supernatural. Depends.
He's God and everyone else.
There you go.
He's the whole
All right.
pantheon.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you were talking with the soft spires. And I think there was basically introductions made, but I don't remember how much you all spoke. I don't think there was too much speaking.
No, just a very brief exchange. We asked what they wanted here, and they said they're here to clear the undead, and we
Yeah, so
stopped there.
to expand on that, Arella might say that the council had met and basically kind of told the families that if one of them could help clear Issyk, they would be given kind of reign over the new city as it was being rebuilt. So the Soft Spires had assembled troops and had come here, and she says they are the first here, but others may arrive soon.
They offer any information about like why now, when the city's been abandoned for 100 years?
Are you asking her that?
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember what all was asked, or if we had asked that. I don't think Beryl would ask that. I'm more curious as a player, so never mind.
I don't think that
I
she
think-
mentioned anything about it so far.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
well, as a player, you know things from other storylines too.
Well, that's also why I ask questions sometimes, like out of character, like before I like go and say something I'm
Yeah.
not supposed to know.
So she would say, "You're welcome to rest here, tribe. But if you are willing to help us, we could use all the help we could get."
As
Well,
mission, tribe has friends missing.
I think yes, your ally Melody was telling me a bit about your missing companions, that they may be lost in the Shadowfell. I'm not very versed with Arcana, nor do I have people with me other than those versed in fighting and controlling the undead. But I don't know, if you figure anything out, I can try to help.
Very well. I mean, certainly our number one priority is to get into the Shadowfell and rescue our companions, but at the moment, we have no way of doing that. So until we know more, I, for one, would not be opposed to continuing to rid Isik of its undead presence.
She
But
smiles and says,
if there is
excellent.
an opportunity for us to investigate further how we might enter the Shadowfell, you just simply need to know that we will attend to that opportunity as soon as we can.
She nods. Dulagal kind of looks at you and says, what does your group require as compensation? I assume as mercenaries you have a price. And Arella nods and she says, yes, it's a good thing to mention. I'm guessing you will not be working for free. And we are happy to pay for any assistance you could provide.
Perhaps give us a time to review it as a crew, and then we can give you a more direct answer.
She nods and says, of course. She looks to one of the guards and she says, why don't you escort them upstairs? This is an old inn and we've sort of refurbished it a bit for use. Give them one of the rooms on the third floor. As many as they wish to use, since we haven't done much up there yet. And the guard would nod and lead you all up to the third floor, where he would say, the doors aren't locked. We don't really have keys for the inn, obviously, but you're welcome to use the room to rest and recuperate. And he says, if you need food or any rations, the quartermaster can assist you.
Ah, quartermaster. Always a good person to know.
And he nods. Says, we also have supplies if you need anything else. Again, the quartermaster has supplies for pretty much everyone in the army, and he rations them out. I think he would charge your group for them, but it's a source of it's a source for resources. And with that, he would take his leave. So you're all sitting in one room, but as they said, you pretty much have the whole floor. What do you all want to do?
I guess, do we need a long rest? Do you guys need a long rest?
I'm not especially tired, but I could
Could
use
take nap.
I could use a little nap, yeah, or perhaps just time to do some stretching.
Yeah, you would guess it's probably early afternoon outside right now. After your fight with the Revenants.
I don't remember how. Can anyone check and see if Anna Kate is in need of more than just a short rest? Because I think she might have gotten hit the most.
Do you want her to... Does someone want to play her today, or do you want to have her in the background?
I think someone played her last week.
I did, yeah. If
Yeah.
we get into a fight, certainly I can. If we don't get into a fight, then I'll assume that she's just in the background. But in terms of the conversation surrounding our current free time, I think she would indicate that a nap would be beneficial.
So yeah, let's take an hour then.
Alright, so you take an hour to rest. When in the camp, you don't really have to worry about random encounters, so the hour would pass without issue.
Excellent.
So it's now 2 o'clock. Go ahead and use hit dice and regain any appropriate resources. During the time, Melody seems nervous. She is kind of going through her things, getting ready to journey out, but she doesn't say much. She mostly just keeps to herself.
Is she in the room with us?
I think so.
Okay.
It's a little crowded in here, as I think all 7 of you are in here. There are other rooms up here, but yeah, no one has spread out just yet.
Does, if Beryl remember correctly, Lyra say studying at labs, yes?
I believe
Lyra.
so.
Yeah.
Does Lyra... Yeah, okay. Lyra knows about missing friends, because Lyra talked to Tribe after battle. So, Tribe should check in with Lyra and maybe Chiron at least once every day in case Tribe finds way to help friends to go to Shadowfell. Until then, maybe Tribe ask a price of these Softspire and keep doing work of clearing nasties, or see if there's something specific Softspire lady wants us to start with.
That seems fair. Melody, perhaps our first order of business could be to go to the library, where we can introduce you to Chiron, who we believe probably has the most amount of knowledge surrounding the Shadowfell, and has the most number of books on it, I assume. And perhaps there we can do research that may give us some answers in terms of how to get to the Shadowfell, how to get out, that sort of thing. What say you to this?
That would be a good place to start. I would love to get working on something. I feel helpless just sitting around while Shock could be in trouble.
I agree.
If you got me there, at least I could maybe work with this Chiron.
Yes. Beryl likes this plan.
Very
I'm gonna,
well.
tap Sim on the shoulder and ask him if he would sign his name to my giant tome here.
It would be honor.
And this will help you protect. It could protect you in the event of mortal danger.
Ah, I see. Well, one does not wish for mortal danger, but and always use a little help.
Yeah.
Alright, so you sign your book or your name in his large book. I assume he would then put it away. So, do you want to do anything during this hour of downtime, or should I just skip ahead as you're resting?
That's not enough time to craft, is it?
I mean, you could probably brew up a common potion, but
All right,
that's about it.
let me do a healing potion while we sit around and just kind of put our feet up for an hour and where we move on.
All right,
Return for being
go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
okay. In return for being offered the protection of Reed's book, Sim would dig around in his belt pouches for a minute and come up with what looks to be a fairly ordinary spider and offer it to Reed. Would you like to keep my friend with you? It could also help protect.
I'm not a huge fan of spiders, but what? How would I? What?
Her name Temma. She of a time I can cast spells through her as though I touch, and I have ways to protect with Temma help.
All right. I will I'll find a pocket that Tema fits into, and I will gently place her in a pocket of my my jacket.
Oh,
Alright, the small spider would probably hop on you and quickly crawl into your pocket.
She is clever. She will stay out of way.
All right, so Beryl, you would spend the 30 gold pieces and brew up a healing potion,
Yes, please.
and spend the vial.
Yes.
All right, anyone else doing anything?
I think the only thing that I'm going to be doing during this time, I'm probably going to be in my room, meditating, and I'm just going to be reflecting on some recent information, and that's all.
All right. So yeah, the hour passes without issue. As I said, you make the healing potion, and yeah, what do you all want to do now? You have your short rest. You can spend one of the 3 that you have per day.
I assume that roll was adequate for just a normal potion.
Yeah,
Right?
that would be a normal potion.
Thank you.
I don't know what I think of Softfires. Their endeavor. It will take more than soldiers to clear the city. I do not know if they can succeed, with no wizards, they say, versed in greater magics.
Well, they
I
did
agree.
mention they had
Yeah.
someone specialized in controlling and fighting the undead. Maybe someone out in the field still. Melody shrugs. Maybe some kind of priest or cleric.
I think perhaps this person is worth speaking to. But I agree with you, Sim. I think that if they throw a bunch of the soldiery at a bunch of undead, they're going to end up with a bunch of nothing. And, well,
Or more undead.
less than nothing, indeed. I think fighting a horde of ghouls is one thing. Fighting ghasts and revenants in Alhoun is something else entirely. I don't think they're equipped for this.
Perhaps if we tell them so, they'll pay us better.
Perhaps. Speaking of the payment, what do you all think is fair? I'm not all that accustomed to negotiating my wages. I just take what I get.
Well,
Doesn't know what
do
to
we
ask for either.
do we know anything about the soft spire? I'm not too familiar with the political face of the Teruvian Empire. Uh, Melody says.
I'm not familiar.
From their name, it sounds like they make good ice cream.
History might tell you something about them, if anyone
Okay.
has it.
Nope. Unfortunate.
I am not trained.
Can
Okay.
the
Anna Kate
priest-
might be. I don't know.
I'll find out.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Did you say that there was a priest that?
That's just my guess, Melody says. They said they had someone who specialized in fighting undead. A lot of times, the religious inclined, such as myself, have more knowledge of undead fighting.
Beryl wonders if Softspires have met the gated Bodak community. Because Softspire said the first Softspire soldier that talked to Tribe and told Tribe to come here said they had cleared most of the south part of Isik, and there were many Bodaks still.
It seems like that would have been something they mentioned, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, good for them.
Mhm.
I'm wondering, back in our time in Isik, if the ghost of Gregory is still about. If we could
If-
find him.
Perhaps
Gregory
wandering the
visited
town.
Tribe. Yeah, Gregory Ghost visited Tribe a couple times, but it has been a long time since Beryl remembers seeing.
Who was this Gregory that you speak of?
Hired as one of mercenaries hired by Blackwater to come on his mission to Isik, his original expedition. Gregory was cleric of the Dawn God, and had powerful, I believe, armor, or maybe it was I think it was a mace or a maul and a fancy amulet that Rayless was using before Rayless left the tribe. Gregory gave to Rayless. Well, tribe collected Gregory's body, and then Gregory's ghost gave permission to use his items.
I see. Well, perhaps our first order of business should be to speak to this Lady Softspire, see what she thinks is fair, unless you all have a better idea in terms of payment. I have no perception of what would be fair. I think it will be determined a little bit by what she is asking of us. But then from there, we'll at least know what our next move is, and we can go to the library and make introductions between Melody and Chiron, and then be about the Softspire's business until a lead is found for getting into the Shadowfell.
Sure. Sounds like a good start plan.
I would say, as for payment, we're looking for knowledge more than coin.
Yeah.
I agree.
There are many. Sorry, go ahead.
We've become quite wealthy recently,
Mm-hmm.
and I could do with more knowledge.
Well, do we think the Softspires actually know anything?
No, but perhaps we could leverage their lack of knowledge and... Fuck, I don't know. Maybe we just tell them we don't need their money, but we do need them to find answers for us. But maybe they don't even have the connections necessary to do that.
They come across any documents or scrolls or any kind of symbols?
Maybe you have a good point there. For now, maybe we do offer our services for gold, and then perhaps at a later time, if it seems like some information has been discovered, we can negotiate it.
Oh.
They have decided we are mercenaries. They will not trust us if we do not name a price.
Yeah. Also, Beryl, from what Beryl knows of humans, society, human rulers, those who have councils and send expeditions, usually very fancy people with gold not important to them, have plenty.
That's true. Well, then what do you all think is fair? How much did you get paid for your last job, I guess? And what were the details of it? Maybe we can use that as reference.
Interesting. Last job was deal with, let's see. Wait, I want to make sure I'm not mixing up my games. Let me think about this for a moment.
Blackwater?
Tribe came here with Blackwater, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Sorry. I was starting to mix up my games for a moment there. Okay. So last job payment was share in fancy vault treasure. No gold payment agreed in advance. But Tribe make deals with many groups and for different things. Tribe got magical gadgets from some. Tribe got services from some. Tribe got gold from some.
Maybe that is our suggestion then, is that they do not pay us gold, but they pay us in whatever we find, or whatever they find, for that matter.
If Tribe take gold, then Softspires gets to tell Tribe where Tribe goes and where Tribe fights and where Tribe clears. Also, maybe another reason not to, if we want to follow our own.
To an extent, I think, but I think our brief conversation with the Softspires so far has indicated that once we have an idea of how to get into the Shadowfell, that's our priority. And it seems that much at least is already understood.
Sure. Okay. Beryl doesn't know. Beryl likes some of things that Tribe has bought with shiny metal, but shiny metal cold and heavy. Beryl not especially interested in shiny metal on its own. It's very pretty, but...
Well,
indeed.
As you mentioned, I would appreciate it if you could get me to this Chiron fellow, first order of business, and then once I'm there and working with him to look into the Shadowfell. The rest of you can do whatever you think is best.
Ooh, Beryl has idea. Tribe has only explored Underkeep because Keep was all Alhoons and scary. Maybe Tribe take Melody to Chiron and explore more of Keep and clear Undead and tell Softspires this is where Tribe wishes to start clearing.
Seems like a good suggestion.
And make up some gold amount so the Softspires don't question us or mistrust mercenaries who don't ask for gold.
Perhaps then we leave it to them. We say, like it is, once we have an idea of how to get into the Shadowfell, we must attend to that first and foremost, and our first order of business is getting Melody to Chiron. After we do this, we would like to begin clearing out the keep, and whatever price she offers us, unless it's completely laughable, it may just be sufficient, and we don't need to rack our brains so much.
Beryl likes this. Beryl doesn't want to think more.
Ultimately, I think we're going to end up killing more undead one way or the other, so
Yes.
they say unless she offers us a pittance, perhaps it will be to our liking.
Yes.
All right, so you're heading
Approved.
downstairs to talk to her?
I think so, yeah.
All right, so you head down, and you see a couple of soldiers in the room. Looks like speaking with her. They might be scouts, though there is one person there who definitely stands out a bit. It looks like some sort of tiefling, standing probably at around maybe 5.5 to 6 feet. Not very tall, but very well armed in heavy-looking armor and several weapons on him. Kind of red skin, purple hair. As you come down, Arella Softspire, or Lady Softspire, kind of looks to the group and she says, here they are. Friends, I would like you to meet one of my advisors, Malistray. And the tiefling bows to you. She says, I told you about my specialist. Well, this is him. And he says, I've heard some stories, but it's good to meet you all. I am Malistray, former member to the Crimson Blade, and a current member of the Church of Palor, specialized in the destruction of undead.
It's a pleasure to meet you. And I'll just, how would I? Yeah, I would just give him a wave. And then I'll ask, my name is Mei June. Well, yeah, sorry, that's not a question. My name is Mei June.
He says,
greet
well
you.
met, Mei June.
I am
Beryl.
Tim.
Sorry, were you able to see his picture?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yes.
weird. It wasn't showing up on my thing. But as long as you all can see it. So he kind of looks at all of you, greets you all in turn, and would say, so what do you know of this place? I've heard you spent a lot of time here clearing the undead, and we have you to thank for the reduction in ghouls, but are there any points of interest that you've seen around here? Something that would be good
Scary
to look
lake
into.
with nasty monsters. There's community of Bodax. There's old dwarven cathedral. Beryl will just start like rattling off landmarks.
So he would nod with his quill, quickly taking notes, and kind of ask for these places on the crude map he's drawn, which you kind of see like all the scouts are kind of marking off places of interest where they've explored. He would kind of nod and say, thank you. This has been very useful information, at least for me to know. He would also kind of ask you a little bit about some of the more dangerous foes that you faced and kind of some of the perils that you would have encountered in Issyk. Do you want to tell him all about the enemies you know?
I think certainly I will share my knowledge about ghouls, ghasts, revenants. I will not mention the sword wraiths only because I know that the rest of the tribe is tight with them. But if somebody else mentions sword wraiths, I will certainly not interject. But I will leave them out. I will mention.
So I guess, are there any? I guess I kind of know what you've seen. Are there things that you're not mentioning? Because you don't have to go through all of them.
Sure. I think the only thing that I specifically would want to mention are the giant constrictor snakes that live underneath down in the caverns, and I will specifically indicate that they are peaceful but territorial. They will not attack unless threatened.
It says, constrictor snakes. Are these undead or just creatures corrupted by magic?
Neither, as far as I'm aware. They are just simply constrictor snakes. They do value the crystalline structures or crystalline deposits underground, but I do not think that they are themselves undead. No.
He nods and says,
Stricter snakes are good beasties.
Good beasties.
Well-
That's a short, good version of it.
I will avoid fighting them if I can. It doesn't sound like they'll get in our way. Mostly we've been sending scouts out to sort of explore the city. I'm assuming Lady Softspire has told you somewhat of our plans, and she kind of nods. He looks back to the group and says, "We haven't done too many large fights yet. We've been kind of keeping our troops in reserve, mostly trying to clear out the areas around the camp, as you saw in one of the skirmishes. I appreciate you helping save some of our men, by the way. That's very noble of you."
All around lake. Very big monster there.
Yes, we haven't, or we don't plan to go that far north just yet. As I said, we're more just biding our time and trying to clear out around the camp. We want to, at some point, make our way to the keep, but we don't want to push it. We want to make sure we do this carefully and slowly, as we don't have unlimited troops to throw at the enemy.
More importantly, you would not want to dispatch the lives of unlimited troops. I think that caution, as you said, would be prudent. I think a slow approach is more likely to result in preservation of life and the successful but steady conquest of Isaac.
He says, "Of course, this is a very touchy situation here, and we must approach it carefully. We don't want to waste lives, throw away any of our troops unnecessarily. Hopefully you can help us with that, as the 6 of you, at least from what you've told us, have been extremely successful."
Perhaps, but we are not here to hold territory. We
He nods.
so we fight in a different way.
He says, "Why did you come back to Isaac, just out of curiosity?"
We seek a lost companion.
Ah, yes, I think she mentioned something about that. Your friend who was lost to the Shadowfell?
Indeed. Many friends.
He says, "Well, I don't know much about the plains, but the family does have specialists who work with magic. I don't wish to speak out of turn, Lady Softspire, but perhaps we could send for a specialist who might look into this." She looks to him and thinks for a moment and says, "It's possible. Such specialists are hard to come by, so it would really depend on the availability, and it would take some time to get them here." And he says, "Well, something to think about. Maybe in return for the specialist to help find your friends, you could help us with our ventures."
As the suggestion is made, I'll ponder it for just a couple moments, and then I'll say, to be frank, that would be more valuable to us than any sort of compensation. Which is not to say that any other compensation wouldn't be appreciated. But if you were willing to leverage whatever political authority you have to expedite that process in any way, we would be eternally grateful and would, of course, be willing to assist you in clearing out the undead from Isik, such that we might venture to the Shadowfell and rescue our companions there.
Does anyone have a passive insight of 15 or higher?
Just
Yes.
15.
Yeah. So when you say that, you kind of see Malistray almost shoot maybe, I don't want to say a knowing glance, but like almost like he might be signaling something to Lady Softspire with a motion he makes. And he would look back to the group and say, well, that sounds like it could work for both parties then.
You mentioned that he gave a look. Is it? Oh, that's not really much to go on. Nah, I'll leave it alone.
It might be something like maybe he was kind of signaling to her that this might be a good line of inquiry to pursue as something that could work for getting the group to help. Maybe just like a signal. Something one might do in a political, like if someone was speaking like in a discussion like with a bunch of political people.
Okay, sure.
If that makes sense.
Like a summit or something.
Yeah,
like
like yeah, like giving her a signal.
Yeah.
She does
Okay.
seem much younger than him, so you almost wonder if maybe he is trying to help guide her a little bit, because she strikes you as someone who is a bit young to be commanding this many troops.
So he's like a counselor of some sort.
Maybe.
In addition
He
to whatever else he
definitely,
does.
and especially as a paladin, he definitely seems much more charismatic, or at least knows how to be or I don't want to say political, but knows how to be convincing, maybe
Like
more
diplomatic.
than she does. Yeah, diplomatic would be a good word.
Sure. Okay. Well, then, as he says that this might work for all of us, I'll respond and say, very well, let us assume that we will proceed thusly if it is agreeable to the Lady Softspire. With that in mind, is there a specific function that you have need of us for? Our thought was that we would go and attend to the upper floors of the keep proper, specifically because we did not have ample opportunity to do that the last time that we were here. And perhaps because there could be knowledge there which is beneficial to us, and we might kill two birds with one stone.
Also, tribe can learn if Alhun's really gone.
Indeed.
That could be of use. I actually wanted to get some feedback from you on something. You've seen most of this city up close through your exploration. Is there a good defensible spot or building besides the keep we could move our soldiers to that would be closer to the center of town?
And the center of town is the marketplace, correct? Like here?
The center of town's more the keep.
Yeah.
But the marketplace is close to the center of the city.
It's adjacent.
I mean, there is the church we had the big battle in.
Yeah. Didn't we
That place kind of got
Although-
wrecked, though.
But
blow
yeah,
up before? Yeah.
Remember, you
we
kind of
did kind of
blew it
get
up.
overrun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking wild.
Also, I don't know. This would be. I don't know. Never mind.
As he asks the question, I'll just afford him what knowledge we do have, and I will, on his crudely drawn map, I'll do my best to point out the location of the marketplace, not for its defensible opportunities necessarily, but just to indicate where it is, and then point out the ruined, the old church relative to that, and I think I'll also point out the, I forget what this is over on the west side.
The
It's not
Cathedral of Moradin.
Cathedral. Yeah, it's not necessarily
That
centric.
was the church that Reed was talking about. Was the cathedral?
No, I think he was
Is it-
He
talking
was talking
about the one where
He was talk-
you yeah.
Yeah, where we fought like fucking hundreds of ghouls and had to blow out the basement.
Where you
Oh,
escaped.
yeah, that one's more centralized, isn't it? I can't remember exactly where it
is.
was.
But it's
Yeah,
also it might still work. If the upper floors are still standing,
it's kind of
remember.
it is kind of small, and at this point it's pretty destroyed.
Okay.
But she looks at the cathedral over here and says, "Yes, that is a bit closer to the keep. Is that still intact? That large building?"
As far as we're aware.
Survived Dragonfire.
Huh. That could make a useful fortress then.
Tribe
She-
made defense there when Tribe first came to Issac.
She looks one of her guards and she says, "Why don't we send a detachment of scouts over there to see what the condition is?" And he would nod, getting the coordinates from the group, and go organize that. She says, "Okay, good. That's a good first step. Because I would like to possibly have a closer venue, and if that is a well defensible building, then we'll see."
Indeed. One other thing to keep in mind is that in our recent excursions to the eastern parts of Issac, we did notice that there is a hole in the ground there, which seems to be at least one avenue for the undead to move between the underground and the above ground. I would be especially cautious of this region. This is where we encountered the revenants who dispatched your 12 scouts.
All right. Well, that's good to know. Maybe I should have you investigate the hole, see if you can find out more about these revenants and what sort of threat they pose. Malistray kind of looks at her and looks back to the group and says, "So these revenants, generally revenants are undead looking to enact vengeance, but these revenants, do they just freely roam without purpose?"
As he asked the question, I'll just cross my arms and I'll lean up against a wall and I'll say, it seems that they are under the direction of somebody. I don't know whether or not this person is alive or dead, but it does not seem to be a magical control like we understood to be the case with the Alchemy. It seems to be more collaborative. We found a missive on one of their dead bodies indicating that that they were to dispatch your soldiers in order to prevent you from interfering with whatever it is they're trying to do here. I don't know much more than that.
Seems a bit hasty. Perhaps our goals might align. May I see the missive?
I will hand it to him.
Malistray or Softspire or both that are talking?
This is Malistray. Softspire.
Okay.
Lady Softspire is mostly listening, as well as Doulagal, who actually is now more directing the troops and setting up the scouting mission. So he's looking at the piece of paper,
That name. Oh, name.
and he says, "Cao Meng." Is that name familiar to anyone, or to any of you?
I
It
look
is.
around and make an insight check. Does anybody look suspicious?
May June. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. Yeah, as he asks if anybody recognizes the name, I'll say, it is familiar to me. In fact, the reason that I personally came to Issac in the first place was to seek Cao Meng. He and I traveled together for many years in an old mercenary company. The two of us, owing to our unique heritage, were not welcomed by the tribes that we come from, and so I, for one, left my village to seek my fortunes abroad, and discovered this mercenary company just about the same time he did. And as I said, we fought together for many years, took many contracts with the company before we sort of collectively outgrew them. And as he and I then sort of accepted our own contracts from our own vendors, he eventually acquired knowledge of Isik and specifically how it relates to our people a long time ago, or at least one of our peoples. He and I are both of a mixed heritage. The two tribes that we come from have been rivals for a long time. Sort of, it's what you might call not necessarily a slavery type relationship, but it's not mutual. But I digress. The show, which is one of the tribes that we come from, are alleged to have lived in Isik many hundreds of years ago. And when Cao Meng discovered this, he set out to do his own research here and bid me follow him when I was able. I was supposed to meet him in Char. He did not show up. And after too many days there, I learned of Lord Blackwater's intentions to lead an excavation of the ruins and thought that it might be a good opportunity to seek him out. But I never did find him during our initial operations, and to be frank, I had sort of assumed he was dead.
So,
Fuck, he might actually be dead.
so Malastray kind of takes all this and then nods. And is there a reason why these revenants would be following him? Is he a necromancer of some sort?
I'll actually chuckle, like a nice hearty chuckle, and I'll say, no, not even a little bit. He's, well, anything is possible. Seeing what I've seen in Isik, I wouldn't rule anything out. But the last time I saw him, he and I had a very similar fighting style. Big and loud. Again, owing to our heritage, it seems to be the most effective way for us to do combat. We have a resilience to damage unlike that of most other people. He typically is carrying big weapons and swinging them hard, much like I tried to do. So if he is a necromancer, that is a very recent development. More likely than not, I think that well, frankly, I don't know. If he's not a necromancer, maybe he's found some sort of common ground with these revenants, but I cannot imagine what it is.
Well, if you know him, maybe you could convince him to stop attacking our people if you could find him. Lady Softspire, I think this might be a good first step. If this this Cao Meng is truly able to be persuaded by an old friend, then that could save many lives. Especially if we could somehow get these revenants to fight with us. She nods and says, do you think you could find your old friend and convince him?
I can certainly try. I'm not really sure what sort of signs he would be leaving behind. My best guess would be to pursue the revenants through the hole that we discovered, but I don't know where that leads. But
she nods and
yeah,
says, "Well,
that's
that could be our first step then. Why don't I? Well, my what is it? I guess Captain Doulagal is organizing the scouting mission, but I will also send word to our family to try to bring in a specialist to help with your Shadowfell issue, and you begin looking into this Cao Meng for us."
That is agreeable to me. I will confirm with the group whether or not that is also agreeable to them. I think our only other consideration was heading to the keep first, but I personally see no reason to do one over the other. Well, I see no reason to do the keep over this.
All
but
right.
I will check with them. If your men in their scouting see a man wearing foreign armor with a large polearm, do not engage him.
Well, none of our scouts are supposed to engage anyone. We're just gathering information right now.
Very
But I
well.
shall let them know to be cautious of this Cow Mang. Uh, if there's anything else you need, just let myself or the quartermaster, or of course Malistray, know, and we'll take care of you. But yeah, good luck to you.
I Beryl would have looked toward Melody during this conversation to see if she had any input, because previously she had
So
indicated that she wanted us to take her to
yeah, so
Chiron.
she's been keeping quiet. When the discussion ends, she would sort of whisper to the group, I assume you still intend to bring me to the library first.
That's my plan.
Yeah,
Okay.
and she nods. She says, I had assumed that. I did not want to interrupt you while you were speaking with the lady and Malistray. Alright, so at this point, is there anything the group wants to do in camp, or do you want to spend time waiting to rest, or do you want to get going towards the keep or the hole?
I would personally like to look and see where, if anywhere, there are soldiers currently like training or sparring, and just participate with them. To well, for three reasons. One, to gauge their abilities. Two, to establish a little bit of camaraderie, and three, to give them any pointers if it looks like there's anything that I have to teach them.
So there are soldiers within camp who are sparring a little. There are also soldiers drinking in the tavern, drinking some of the drink that the army brought with them. There's the quartermaster, and there are some soldiers in the houses around here that have sort of made them into makeshift guard posts. So, which one do you want to go talk to?
The ones who are actively doing a little bit of sparring.
And is everyone coming with you?
No, I think I'm just gathering my things and getting ready to leave.
All right.
I'd like to talk to the captain briefly and remind him to be careful with any soldiers that fall in battle, that their bodies are taken care of. So because with revenants, a dead body is a potential host.
You
if they
talking
fall in battle.
to Doulagal?
Doulagal, I guess.
Yeah, he was the
And
captain. So he would nod. He says, "Well, anytime a soldier falls, we bring them back here for burial rites. Unless a whole team is taken out, we do intend to bury everyone. But you're saying we should burn them instead?"
as long as you're performing rites of a, I'm sure your tiefling friend would understand a gentle repose or burial rites that would keep.
Yeah, Malistray
corpse from
nods,
rising.
and he says, "I have been taking the appropriate rites on all the fallen soldiers we find.
All right.
So, not to worry, but thank you for the concern." Alright, so Mei Jun, what are you going to use to. What skill do you want to use to speak with some of the soldiers sparring? Are you trying to talk to them? Are you just sparring with them? What exactly are you doing?
That's a good question. I think as I approach this group of sparees, I'll just greet them casually and ask if I can participate. And then, yeah, man, I'm honestly I'm not much of a leader. So in terms of whatever knowledge I have to import to them, that's not the word. Impart. That's the one. Importing from the cloud. Any knowledge that I have to impart to them, it would be strictly anything that I'm able to point out, like
So,
in a spar. I'm not a good teacher. Just trying to do my best.
how long are you going to do this for? Is it just like a quick 5-minute thing, or are you trying to spend like an hour doing it?
I would say it depends. We'll say that I've communicated to the group that that's where I'm heading, and whenever we feel like we're ready to go, that's where I'll be. And then, if there's anything else, like after everybody else's conversations, like with Duligal and all that are wrapped up. So I'm not really sure how long that would be. I would imagine it's probably not an hour because I think we already took a short rest and we don't really have a whole lot of other things we need to be doing here.
All right, so you start doing that, though you're not sure how much you can accomplish in a really short time period.
Sure.
So Sim was kind of getting his things together. Reed, you were speaking a little with Captain Dooligill and some of the other leaders. What about Beryl?
Um, I don't know. Should probably just stick with Reed and Anna Kate and
Okay.
Mork and Sim, I guess. Well, I guess Reed went differently, so I guess I stick with Sim and the absent characters till the rest of the group is ready to leave.
All right. Well, I mean, if all you're doing is getting your things together, then that would be pretty. That would happen pretty quick.
Yeah.
So
That's fine. Then I would say probably in that time I probably don't have much to teach them, but I might be able to gauge their. Well, and I kind of already know how they fight because I've seen them. So I guess I'm really there just to sort of like identify myself and say, hey, I'm on your team. Let's
Sure.
test.
Yeah, you talk to them a little bit. I mean, you think with some time, like interacting, you might be able to endear yourself more, but with like only 5 or 10 minutes of discussion, there's not much to do. Skill wise, it sort of varies, though most of them are in line with what you would expect common Empire soldiers to be.
Sure.
Not super skilled, but much better off than like a town guard or someone who is not trained in fighting. Definitely more trained to fight living opponents.
Yeah.
You're hoping that Malistray is doing enough to prepare them for fighting ghouls and other supernatural enemies.
Very well.
Alright, so the group gets their stuff together, and probably at about still pretty early in the day, at least early in the afternoon, you would depart. Where are you headed? You
That's a
doing
good question.
the melody thing
think-
first?
For sure, we'd be doing
Yeah.
that. One other thing that we needed to just double check on before we did leave was whether or not, as a group, we intend to head to the keep or head to the hole.
Yeah.
I would say in conversation, I mean that probably would have happened even before we got our things together. So I would just turn to the group after we've stopped speaking with Softspire and Malistray, etc. I'll just ask, what do you all wish to do after we go by the library? Do you still want to hit the keep first, or do you agree with Malistray's plan to investigate the hole first?
Let's stop at the library first, and then we can decide after we speak with Chiron, I suppose.
Very well. I think that they were sort of expecting that we might indicate to them what our intentions are. So for now, perhaps we'll tell them that the hole seems like a decent enough idea, and then if we have reason to think otherwise, we'll let them know.
So you do remember that most of the drakes were probably cleared out, so you're not sure what would be in the keep at this point, since the old residents are no longer an issue. Maybe something new moved in, or maybe it's empty. Alright,
Okay.
so the group
Then,
is...
yeah, I guess we would have indicated that plan then.
Alright, so the group is heading north through the city. Give me a d20 roll. Let's see what happens.
Like we designated Sim as our 20 roller, huh?
Oh yeah. Let's see. Heyo. Hope high is good.
18 ghouls.
That is actually not a bad roll.
Yep.
Alright, so as you're headed this way, you would see a large group of ghouls. Looks like they're moving east, though they don't seem like either they haven't seen you or they are trying to avoid you. You're not sure. But they're not coming this way. What do you want to do?
Why would ghouls avoid? Have we ever seen that behavior?
No, you would assume they don't see you.
Hmm.
How
Looks
many
like
at a distance? Yeah, how many do we see?
so. Does anyone have a passive of 16 or over?
Barrel.
So you would guess there are about 30 or so ghouls. So a pretty large group.
Barrel thinks that maybe better to sneak past.
I agree.
Ghouls are easier targets, but tribe might need need to save energy for bigger threats. And 30 is a lot.
Okay, so you're gonna try to avoid them.
I think so.
Alright, so you can try to sneak, but I'm not going to make you roll, because again, they don't seem like they're very interested in you. If you slowed down a bit, they would just kind of keep moving. So the group continues. When you get to here, what is your highest passive perception right now? You might know.
I believe
something.
17.
17. Alright, so you see something a little bit odd as you're kind of coming up this way. To the west over here, you see several figures. Looks like 4 altogether, kind of clad in black, almost look a little bit like the shadow dancers that you saw in the past. But what's odd about them is that they're carrying chests. Like,
Barrel would.
they have 2 of them are just walking, and 2 of them are. One of them is each carrying the side of a fairly large chest.
Are they walking towards us or away from us?
They're currently walking north.
North. Okay. Barrel would tug on Reed's sleeve and point.
You don't know if they've noticed you. Probably. Because it's not like you
It's
all
so
are
weird.
well hidden.
Like, we had Nikolai for so long. It's very strange for Barrel
He
to be the
sees
most
everything.
perceptive. Yeah, it's like, wait a second. Why is Barrel the most perceptive now?
I say we follow.
Does Tribe want extra sneaky?
I think so. Yes.
Alright, Barrel would cast Pass Without Trace.
Alright.
Does it look like they're moving fairly quickly, or just at like a comfortable pace?
No, not too quickly. Maybe like a brisk pace. They're kind of slowed because they're carrying this awkward-looking chest.
Yeah.
I was thinking about slipping out of my scale, but I don't think we have time for that.
Alright, so you want to approach them?
I think we're trying to
Or
follow
sneak?
them sneakily. Yeah, trying to follow them without being seen is my understanding. Is that right, Barrow?
Sure.
Alright, give me a stealth check for the group. So all of you roll stealth.
Do you want the players that aren't here?
You don't have to worry about them.
Okay.
And are you doing Pass Without Trace?
Yes.
Okay,
Jeez.
so it's plus 10.
Oh, wow.
Alright, so the group is being very quiet.
Look at Reed. Look at Reed go.
Yeah.
As you get closer, they are moving north. It doesn't look like they've noticed you yet.
As we get a little bit closer, is there anything else that we are able to make out about them, or is it pretty much the same from here?
They're still pretty far away.
Okay.
Like 250-ish feet. It's not too far, but far enough that they look like they're armed. They look like they have weapons on their backs and sides. It's hard to tell what type of armor they have, if any. And it's definitely hard to make out any type of facial features from here, as they're just sort of walking through the mist.
And do I remember correctly that we only allied with a group of Shadarkai? There were others that were always hostile to us, correct?
I don't know if you allied with them. You sort of made a deal
Sorelia?
for them to leave. Oh, Sorelia. So I don't know if she was a faction. She was more just a priest. Or a
Acted by
priestess.
herself.
Yeah, she was...
No, he said she had people with him. He never told us how many, though.
So yeah, I think that she had a couple of... No, I don't think Sorelia had followers. Are you sure about that? I thought
Yeah,
she was
I mean,
here solo.
you indicated she and her group a few times, and at one point I asked, how many her group was, and you said you actually didn't give a number. So,
I'm going to say
but
I lied then if I said that, and it was
okay,
only her.
that's fine. Yeah. No, I'll just update the NPC list. That's just I had made that note, and I'd always kind of wondered, but that's fine. All right, so she's kind of an
Yeah,
unusual
I
on her
never.
own kind of thing. Okay.
She was there to perform some tasks for the Raven Queen, but I never. I
Okay.
don't think I intended her to have troops with her. So she just came back
Well,
because
I
the
knew
Raven
it
Queen
was
asked her to.
I think we had established that it was like a couple companions, but like you didn't ever give a firm number, so that's fair. Like let's
So let's just
she's
say
on
she
her own.
was there solo, sneaking around the
Gotcha.
city. So yeah, these probably are not her people.
Okay.
And again, it's hard to say if they're actually Shadow Kai, because you're still pretty far away.
They're just
Okay.
dark.
You just said that they from a distance resembled like they could be
Yeah,
shadow
so
dancers. But
yeah,
okay.
they could be, but yeah, it's
Okay.
hard to say.
All right.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to try to keep sneaking and following them, or
I think
I'm
so.
gonna yeah.
All right.
That's fine.
Probably trying to use the houses as cover. Yeah.
Because
Okay.
there's no chance that things aren't going to jump out at us from those houses or anything.
Yeah, I'm really curious about why they have a box and who it's
Yeah.
for.
So it doesn't seem like there are many ghouls in the streets right now as you move, but they appear to be approaching the keep.
Mm-hmm.
As you stay hidden, and you would actually notice now that the keep is no longer surrounded by ghouls. So they would go
I
up the
think that
ramp and into the
Zutan. I
door.
think
Oh wait,
Zutan had told us that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want to do anything before they go into the keep? All right. So we'll say they go up the ramp and enter the keep.
Okay.
Okay. Something to take note of for sure.
What do
Perhaps
you
it's
want to
best
do?
we get to the library for now and just file this under important things to remember.
Also, yeah, it's possible that Chiron may have bots too. Tribe can tell Chiron everything we've learned.
Indeed.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever actually entered the keep through the front door before.
We have
Yeah.
not.
First time for everything.
All right.
Are we gonna follow? Wait, are we gonna follow them in the front door?
Well, you want to get to the library.
Yeah.
Right,
I go
yeah.
first.
The library is under the keep. You can either go through the
Right.
front door or you can try to go through the
Let's do the marketplace
marketplace.
fountain. Yeah. Because we just watched these people walk in with what could be an offering to a new big BBEG that's taken over the keep. I don't think we should just waltz in.
All right. So you're heading east. As you get through the trees, you see a contingent of shadow wraiths who probably would notice you, but don't make much of an effort to come towards you. They just kind of stay there. Well, actually, unless you're hiding, are you trying to approach stealthily? I assumed you were just walking, though.
Well, we do still have Pass Without Trace up, so
At least
I
would have
don't
been
know.
approaching stealthily until we were back in cover from the
Right.
keep, like
Alright.
the trees.
Yeah.
Sure. So maybe they have not seen you yet. You would just see them there, kind of keeping watch over the marketplace.
Beryl wonders if Queen Dinara's people are still tribe friends. Alhoons are different, ghouls are different, many things changing. Beryl's not sure anymore.
Shall we find out?
We need to get to Fountain. They are watching Marketplace. Yeah.
Let's make
Oh.
ourselves known and
Okay.
speak to them and ask them if they know anything about these individuals with the crate.
Yeah.
Oh, who's kind of the makeshift leader right now, so someone can give commands for the group, so I don't keep having awkward silences while I wait for the group to say what they want to do. Like, who wants to be kind of the impromptu?
I vote Reed.
Oh,
Reed?
Ugh, he says.
Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine.
So I'll just look to read when I want to know what the group's doing.
I just honestly, I think Beryl would look to read because you're like the more learned type. She assumes you like. I mean, like May June does really well in the chatty situations too. So I have no problem with any of you being the leader. But I just think that's probably what she's like. He's the smart magic one, you know.
All right. So the group would approach the soldiers, who, when they see you, kind of get a little bit shifty, as if they're kind of drawing their weapons. But as you get closer, several of them take note of the group, and one of them says, "Hail, friends," and they kind of put their weapons away. Or for Sword Wraith, it would be "Hail, friends," because they're more ghostly. What do you want to do? They don't seem to be blocking your passage.
Very good.
I'll ask after their queen.
Dinara does well. She is still within her chambers below. Perhaps she would like to see you again.
Perhaps. Do you know these? We saw individuals clad in black carrying a chest into the keep. Do you know of them?
He thinks for a moment. Do you speak of the Shudder Kai who move about the city?
I thought they left.
He says, we thought they did as well. We are not familiar with these people clad in black.
We made the agreement that the Shadar Kai would leave when we fought them in the church, but it looks like they've made a return.
We have seen figures moving about clad in black, but we assume they were the Shadar Kai. If they are someone else, we don't know.
So they could still be somebody else. Perhaps
They,
it's a mystery to unravel.
He says, you might wish to speak with Dinara. She probably has more information.
All right.
We have mostly held our territory, keeping the humans out.
Very well. Yeah, I'll signal for the group, and then we'll head to the fountain and head towards Dinara.
Dinara's people have had skirmishes with the humans?
Sounds like it.
Oh no.
Alright, so you're heading underground. Which I think you've explored already. So go ahead and pull yourselves. You can see the map, right?
I cannot. I've never been down here.
All right. So do you want to go to Dinara's chambers? Or do you want to just head through this area?
So they're on the way to the library, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would go past her chambers if you want to stop in.
I think so, yeah.
Alright, so go ahead and pull yourself on over here.
Oh.
Yeah, if there's a bunch of
Or I
Shadar
guess you could just walk there if you want, but yeah, if you want to walk there, that's fine. And I will add Sim on the map here since he has not been here before. So I'll actually let Sim kind of walk down this hallway. So,
All I see is black still, though. I still don't have any vision on the map.
do you have dark vision, right?
I do indeed. I have plenty of it. I got the special Warlock
So
dark
you
vision.
should see yourself here right
There we
now.
go. Yep, there we go.
So I'll walk you to the chamber.
Okay.
As you enter, stepping through the mists, you would come into the room of Queen Dinara, who I'll show everyone since not everyone's seen her before. So she greets you as you step forward. She says, with a bit of a smile, "Reed, it's been too long. Welcome back."
I will give a big bow.
And of course, the rest of you, and some who I have not met before, kind of looking at Sim.
I greet you. I have not met the queen in some time, if ever.
So she would smile, her spectral form quite evident that she is a ghost, and she would say, "There's troubling times in Issyk with the arrival of these humans. Have you seen them?"
The ones to the south.
"Yes."
Yes, we've spoken to them.
"Do you know what they're doing here?"
They wish to reclaim the city of Issyk and to once more bring the living back to it.
"I see. This is troubling. I knew this might happen one day, but I had hoped it might be a day far in the future."
Well, perhaps you should send one of your wraiths and they could sit down and hammer out a compromise or of some sort.
Maybe dangerous for Wraith to approach. Maybe need to go with tribe.
Do you think they would be willing to speak with me? I've not known my own people to be the most friendly towards the undead. They've already attacked some of our troops.
Perhaps if you are to talk, it must be now. Only worse later.
He says, "Well, I cannot leave my chamber. I suppose I could try to send soldiers to meet with them, but as I said, they'd most likely just be attacked if they approach the fort. Do you think you could tell, what did you say their names were? Or did you?
The soft spire.
Do you think you could tell them of our wish to maybe compromise?"
Yes.
With
As
as much danger as in city, they may be more willing to entertain embassy.
Give me a persuasion check, Reed. I'll give you advantage on this.
Sure.
Because she's fond of him.
Yeah, she seems like she's in thought. So she thinks for a moment and says, "I don't know, Reed. Do you think that peace would even be possible? Or do you think it would be best if we just tried to keep ourselves away and avoid them?"
I think we could broker some kind of peace. I mean, do your sword wraiths need territory and land, or can they just wander some halls beneath the keep here and be content with that? You don't need fields to plow or shops to run out in the city. I don't see why they can't grant you the run of the surrounding halls here.
He says, "But so would we to just stay below in these halls for the rest of eternity?"
Well, you yourself are confined to this room.
She's on. She says, "Yes, that's a good point. I don't see myself ever being able to leave here." "Well, maybe you're right then. Maybe we could broker some sort of agreement where myself and my soldiers would stay below ground. Though I'm not sure what we do. It would be better than us just being destroyed by them or some priest they brought in to clear the place."
mean, I guess it depends on what you're seeking. Do you seek to be free of this place?
Well,
And what would that take?
I would love to be free of this place, but I don't know if that's an option. The curse binds me here. I don't think I can leave this room. Every time I tried, I felt myself fading. I suppose if I wish to end my existence, then I could walk out and not come back, but I don't know if I'm there yet.
Well, I'll make an effort to understand this curse, and in the meantime, yes, I would suggest steer clear of the humans to the south, and I will mention that the sword wraiths will stay underneath the keep and will not trouble the humans if the humans do not trouble your soldiers.
She nods and says, "Alright, tomorrow I'll pull all my soldiers back into the tunnels then. And I do wish to speak with these humans, though. So if you could please arrange that as soon as possible. Either have them come here or, I don't know, maybe I could send one of my soldiers to speak on my behalf, but I would much prefer them to come here if you can arrange it.
Very well.
Is there anything else you needed of me?"
No, actually, we must go and see Chiron in the library. We have much to discuss with him.
There is question of whether you know more of whoever is in keep now.
Yes, there is that.
The keep? I thought it was emptied after the dragon fell.
Your soldiers reported seeing Shaddar Kai.
Ah, you speak of the ones in black who walk the city. He says, "No, those are not Shudder Kai. Those, I believe, are a new threat. I'm not sure where they came from, but after the fall of Malik, a new undead started appearing throughout the city. We believe them to be vampires, but we don't know who controls them or what they're doing here. We've never seen them before. We've also seen them working with the Revenants, who are also seemingly acting independent of the Alhun now. Strange times indeed," she says. "Strange times, Frisick. Whatever you did when you killed Malik seems to have shaken all sorts of things up."
Have you seen a foreigner, alive or dead, with a weapon like this one?
I can't say I have. You are the only one I know that carries that weapon that we've seen.
Very well.
But I can keep an eye out. The one thing I can say is that these vampires seem to be coming and going from the undercaves. So whoever leads them or whatever their purpose is, we believe they originated from down below.
That's good
That
information to
everyone's
have.
using those tunnels as well.
And she nods. Is there anything else you needed to know, or was that it?
I think that's it. I think we should continue on.
Very well. If you do find out more about these vampires, please let me know where they come from and if they are a danger to us. So far, they have not attacked us or even engaged with our soldiers, so they seemingly are not enemies to us.
Have they noticed your forces for certain? Are they aware of your existence?
Yes, they've seen our troops in the streets. We have not engaged them either. They haven't come towards. They haven't come to the market, so we've mostly left them alone, and they haven't been attacking the houses or destroying the city. I'm not sure what their purpose is right now.
Okay.
All right.
See
So,
what we will see.
what does the group want to do?
Library time.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
heading
going.
to the library. So I'll move you kind of through the area so Sim can get an idea. So you'd move west, going into the hallways under the keep. You move through the city underground. Give me a d20 roll.
Let's do it.
All good
Oh
things.
wow! Hope low is good.
Wasn't there like a side passage down here at one point that we were like sussing out?
Perhaps.
I don't fucking remember what it was for. Now I'm nervous.
Give me a moment.
Yeah, just needs to pull up this horrifying encounter I've rolled for
There's a kraken in the caves.
Kraken.
Hopefully, this is Ithic, undead kraken.
Alright. So, no, this isn't the right one. I might not even have this map in this game. Hang on a sec. I guess I can use this one. Alright. So as you're moving through these tunnels, which this area isn't too hard to navigate, you've been through here before. You kind of turn one of the hallways going north, and you would see kind of up a ways several figures. It looks like not necessarily the ones who were carrying the chest, but similar to them. And they would look down in your direction. And I need to get the map out for this. So give me one moment. Just trying to reset the... Oh, wait, I think I know what's going on. Yeah, here we go. Alright, so you will see yourself appearing at the bottom of this map in a moment. It should look all black for you right now, right?
Yep.
Okay. So... Sim, May, June, Barrel, and Reed. And a little ways to the north, you would see, as I said, some of those figures. As they see you turn the corner, they will start walking south towards you very slowly and methodically. Give me initiative rolls.
Oh,
Should we pull the other characters on as well?
Yeah, if someone wants to play them.
Okay. I'll play Anakate. Is there a way to trigger a short rest in Roll20? I forget how that's done if there is.
Unfortunately, no. You would just spend the hit dice. So if you want to spend some hit dice really quick, we can say they rested.
Okay, and let me just...
I think
up
she also
the
has her key points back from the short rest.
Key, second wind, action surge. arcane shot. I don't know if she does get back or not, so I'll just leave that one alone. And then, oh, how big is her die? Okay, we'll do. Yeah, we'll do 4 of these. What? I see how it's done. Ah, it pulls them out when you do it that way. That's neat. Okay.
Alright, do you have everyone's initiative and everything?
Believe I'm in.
I still need to pull out Anicate's token. I apologize.
No, that's fine. And I think we need Gamork's initiative as well. Alright.
I'll turn off those whispers. I don't know why he's got it that way.
First one to act is Mei Jun. So as I said, you see what appear to be several cloaked figures moving kind of slowly and methodically towards you. What do you want to do?
I'll move some 5, 10, 15. And I do have my Guandao out.
So they seem almost a little surprised when they see you. Something about you seems to throw them off at first.
Okay. And they're so as at this distance, are there any other features that we're able to make out about them? This is the
Sort
first time
of.
that we've been within a dozen feet or so, or
They
less than 100 feet.
look like they don't look as much like Shadow Kai, more almost more human-like. They don't have a visible weapon, or actually no, never mind. They have rapiers, but no armor on, as far as you can tell, and they're all kind of in cloaks.
Okay. Well, owing to our conversation with Dinara, I'm gonna assume that they are maybe some vampires, but still not knowing much about them. I'm just gonna have my Guandao at the ready, like just to my side in one hand, and I will just ask them. Who are you and what are you doing here? Are you with Cao Meng? And we'll end my turn.
All right.
Actually, would that require an action? That much?
No, you could just talk.
Okay.
You could still take like the dodge or dash or something.
That is exactly what I'll do, is take the dodge. Alright.
Okay, so you begin dodging. They once again seem a bit surprised when you say Cao Meng. One of them says, "You speak his name. What do you know of the master?" And one of them looks kind of at you and at the others and says, "We do not speak with food." And his fangs grow.
what a piece
Miss
of shit.
Wren, what do you want to do?
Well, I guess that gives us some intent on their plan.
No kidding!
That's you, Mei Jun. You're Miss Wren.
Oh, yep. Yes, I am. I apologize. Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna. Oh, she doesn't actually have dark vision, though, does she?
She's probably carrying her light ring.
Right. And that's 2040,
Yeah,
right?
you'd
Yeah, I would
probably
assume
want
it
to
is.
pull out a torch.
Yeah.
her.
Okay. Never
And
had
yeah,
to
we
do
could-
this. Actually, don't know where the torches are.
Some of the resources.
There it is. Okay. We'll just put that right there. Okay, so we'll. She can't fucking see anything. Okay. I will have. She's going to. She'll just take cover behind this wall, attempting to like peer around it, and if yeah, she'll hold an attack. She'll hold a sharp shot with Vile Song if an ally takes damage,
Okay.
or is if an ally is attacked. Yeah.
All right. Gamork, what do you want to do?
Actually, I think he'll do pretty much the same thing as Miss Ren. I adjusted his hit points, but they switched back. I guess it's because I need to do it in D&D Beyond. Okay. Give me just a second here. Sorry. Okay, yeah. So I think he's pretty much going to do what Anna Kate did, and ready a shot with his longbow +1.
Okay.
I see in his inventory. Okay, and he'll move over here as well, just to.
All right. So he
Possibly
steps
help
forward, readying a
and
shot.
cover.
Though I don't know if he actually sees them yet. He probably
Yeah,
just
well,
heard
yeah,
them.
no, that's why I said he's readying if he sees, if he sees a target that is showing hostility towards the tribe.
All right. So that is it for Gamork. Sim, what do you want to do?
How do I pull spell effects off the resources into the map? Is that something I can do?
Yeah, you just pull
Yeah.
it off and place it where you want it.
You
Just drag it
click
the way
and-
you do your token.
drag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not working for me for some reason.
Maybe you don't have permission to the spell effects. I'm not sure how that works.
All players should have permissions on those. Are you dragging it by the 3 lines or by the thing itself?
I'm trying to drag the object. I see a little. I see
You
a
might
little
have to
thumbnail
grab-
image.
Grab the text instead of the picture.
Oh, there we go. Hey.
Yeah.
All right. So, oh goodness. Oh, that is very large. this is gonna come out more aggressive than I intended then. But
We're here
That-
now.
Ooh, is this? What is this?
this is interesting. I'm casting. I just want to not have this fight if I can avoid it. So I am casting this one spell.
Oh, Sickening Radiance.
Can you
Is
link
it
the
that big?
description?
Oh, sorry. I thought that's what I did, but I clicked the same thing twice. Sorry about that.
Definitely gonna go with the first roll for damage.
All right. So, is that where
And
you're placing it?
Yeah, sure. And I will speak saying, "There is no food here."
All right. So it does have a 5-foot light radius. I'm gonna guess that's low light because it's like radiation. So it can
Nice.
light the area up.
Nice.
They
Now
indeed
that I can see 'em.
hiss as they start getting burned by radiant energy. Anything else? Oh, and you have to concentrate to do that. So mark yourself as concentrating.
Sorry about that. I will do that now.
They would actually be next. So when their turn starts, they must make some con saves. So the first one was a con save. Oh, and actually, I should show you what they look like.
Yeah.
Hey.
They're kind of posh vampires. Okay.
All right.
So let's see. First one does a con save. It would indeed make it, so I think it just doesn't take anything.
Right.
And the sickening radiance doesn't actually count as sunlight, right?
It does not.
All right. So he is definitely going to hiss his like his robes and everything start burning, and he will suddenly take leave of the ground, flying 40 feet forward.
Gee,
Uh,
as
I think
he,
that triggers a couple reactions.
Yeah, Meijun, you can swing at him as he's coming at you.
Yep, it technically doesn't trigger Anna Kate yet because she's not taking that. So in accordance with reach, would you assume that he? Well, I would assume he probably went this space as opposed to this space because it's out of the radiance.
Yeah.
Okay, just in case I'm able to stop him, we'll see. But yeah, for sure, I will take a swing at him, just a regular one.
Alright, so as he's entering your threat, 23 would strike.
That is, I don't know where the 23 is coming from. That's not me.
Oh, that's the, never mind, that's mine. 29 would crit.
Yeah.
As
Okay.
you spend
Beautiful.
your reaction, swinging at him as he enters, for 15 points of damage.
Oh, the Sentinel, stop it right there. Oh, that's amazing.
Sentinel does, yes. And I would like to make that a trip attack as well. So that would be a DC 15 strength saving throw to resist prone.
Alright. Yeah, he will
And also
attempt that.
extra damage.
Oh, he does not make it, and you knock him to the ground.
Okay. Oh, nice. And I'll take 7 from the die.
Alright, taking another 7. He still looks pretty healthy.
Yep.
So that's it for that one. The
At least
one
he's not
next to
touching
him
Anybody, I guess.
flies forward as well.
Ah,
He would land next to you. Luckily, you are dodging. So he sees you being all dodgy, and he is actually going to try to grab you. So give me a athletics or acrobatics as he attempts to grab at you.
And does dodge impose any sort of change on that? I don't recall.
No, not to grapple attempts. That's
Okay.
why he did it.
Yeah,
He's actually
that's what I
fairly
was thinking.
smart.
Ah, fuck.
Well,
If only I was raging.
no, he didn't roll
Yeah.
very well, so he would miss on that attempt.
Okay.
He will then try to grab you again, because he doesn't think he can
I'm nervous.
necessarily hit you.
Oh.
Oh, so harsh.
Oh, he did
harsh.
get you with that one, and he's going to make a bite attack on you.
Okay.
So as he grabs you, he pulls in, biting at you. This one you do get a dodge on. So I think he still hits you though. Oh wait, is your AC 18?
It is. It is. Yes. Oh, that's right. Because I had the ring of protection. No, that's because I fighting style. That's right.
So yeah, with an 18, that would barely miss you as you dodge out of the way.
That dodge.
That dodge.
This guy
Gosh,
flies
dodge.
over here, landing next to Sim. But that is it for him.
Oh, actually,
as-
yeah. Like Beryl was saying, I forgot. But I think this
Oh,
this
and,
vampire here bite. I think it would proc Anna Kate and Gamork.
yeah, so
Okay.
Gamork and Kate, you can take shots at that one as he's trying to bite Meijun. And he has grappled you.
That's Gamork.
Yeah, wasn't Gamork and Anna Kate readying attacks?
Yep. I am pulling up mine right now. Yeah.
Alright, so 19, I think would actually, yeah, that would hit. So she does 10 and 3, so 13. Alright, so he is shot in the side for 13 damage, and then 8 would just fly past him, missing. Anything else? that was their reaction. So go ahead and spend your reactions. And that was it for them. So Beryl, your turn.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see here. This radius is 20-foot cube. Oh, I don't know. Oh golly. All right, I'm just gonna put down a moonbeam. Beryl's not sure what's going on here. She's gonna scream out like to Reed and everyone else, like, "What are?"
Alright, where are you putting the moonbeam? Right there.
Yeah. And let's do that at level. What are my spell slots looking like? I'm gonna only do that at level 2.
Okay.
And then let's see here. Do I have any decent bonus actions? I'll do a magic stone, and I'll circle around to like here. That's all I got. Beryl's confused. What's going on? What are they?
Alright, so Beryl's turn ends. Reed, what are you doing?
That's a good question. I am. So, Meijun is grappled, right?
Yeah, the one is grabbing Meijun right now. So he is immobilized.
So I am going to move my full movement up to here. And then I'm going to not grab, but just reach out and tap Meijun on the shoulder and hold onto his, cloak or armor, and then cast Thunder Step.
Ooh, fun.
Nice.
Neat.
We're gonna move back a little bit, not too far, but
Alright, go ahead and link it. Alright, so you rush up, doing some verbal components as you one willing creature. Alright, yeah, so as you touch Meijun, and there is a loud boom as thunder rings out all around you.
and we'll just move back to here.
Alright, so the two vampires, let's make a con save. I'll start with the prone one. He does make it. The second one would actually fail it, getting caught off guard. So that would be
Half of 30, 31, and 15.
so the prone guy who made it takes 15 thunder, and the other guy would take the full 31. So there's a loud boom that echoes through the halls. Anything else?
No, that's it for me.
Alright, so that would be the end of the first round. Back up to Meijun. What do you want to do?
The one who spoke to me first, I believe, is the prone one, and the one who said that we don't speak to food is the one who got up in my business. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so then I will run forward 5, 10, 15 feet, roaring loudly and proudly as I do. And once I get in reach, I will attempt to lay the Schmeat down on this guy here. With
Alright.
Rage and Reckless and Great Weapon Master. Oh, let me mark myself Reckless before I forget. Okay. And, yeah, okay, I'll let that go.
Alright, so as you swing down at him, he's going to use his reaction. His rapier flashes out and he kind of parries the attack. Ka-ching! And he says reckless, foolish, as you miss him.
Then I'll just be irritated and try it again. And that one,
He sidesteps the other way.
yeah, fuck, I don't even think a precision could save that. Okay, then I'm going to be real irritated in action surge because I didn't hit him either time.
All right.
Where is my... There it is. Okay. And this one, I will... So he... Okay, so he parried. Okay, yeah, I'll let that one go.
21 would strike as you surprise him with a flurry of speed. Catching him off guard. 21 damage would wound him. As he
Excellent.
steps back a bit.
Okay. And... I think I will, I'm gonna save those. Yep. All right. So I'll swing again. And
Yeah, 21 would
nice.
strike again. Alright, so he is struck for another 25 damage.
Okay. And then, oh nope, I don't have any bonus actions.
He would
Oh,
turn
nice.
into a mist and begin flying away as he hisses.
Okay. As he's flying away, I'll say, no, I don't have anything clever with this. I'm not as clever as he was. I think I'll just roar in
Take
his
that,
face.
stupid. You're stupid.
You stupid ass
Ooh, jerk face.
dumbass. Yeah, I'll just end my turn right there and just roaring down the hallway as he decides that I'm not food anymore.
Alright, Miss Wren, what do you want to do?
Okay. Miss Wren, I think, will start popping shots at the one. No. I don't know. Let's see, what would she do? Try to channel my inner Anna Kate. Yeah, I think she'll start popping shots at the one in the moonbeam. Let's go ahead and make them sharpshooter because they appear to be unarmored and we're not sure where that threshold is. So here's one.
That would be 17. That would strike.
Excellent. So we'll do that. Let's see if she has any sort
So
of...
that's the sniper shot, right?
Correct.
So that would be 20 points of damage. The first attack.
Does it not?
It's not calculated.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that's right. We established this last time that the macro is off. Yeah. It'll do the accuracy, but not the damage. In that case, I think the one... Well, he's dead anyway. It's irrelevant. Okay. And then... Yeah, I don't think we'll apply like any fancy arrows to that, but we will try shooting again.
Oh, yeah, that would strike again. So, 23. Ow.
Nice.
Alright, takes a second shot. Anything else?
I think she'll just move. Try to keep him within 20 feet for light. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We'll just move down here. Ooh, take the light with us. And end the turn.
Alright, Gamork.
I think he's just gonna try and put another arrow in this guy. And when he does arcane shots, is that something I have to call before I make the shot or after?
Depends on the shot. Most of them, I don't think that you do. They're declared when it hits.
Oh, okay. I'm honestly thinking, well, this one might do. Oh, you weave the magic into your arrow, so you probably have to do it before you shoot.
It depends on how it says. It says
right.
Some of them say when it strikes the target, blah blah blah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm gonna try this one. Let's see if he can hit. So here's my attack roll.
All right. So 16 would actually be enough. So
Oh, good.
you take aim, firing and blasting him.
And then wisdom save, or be unable to see anything further than 5 feet until your next turn. Okay.
That's awesome.
All right. So shadow arrow, is that normal damage or is that necrotic?
Psychic, it looks like.
Psychic, yeah.
Psychic.
Psychic, nice.
All right. That's weird. Why don't I see that?
It's in the
Oh, I see.
description I posted further up, not in the actual roll.
All right. So that's 17 points of damage. The bow, is the bow magical?
It is.
Okay. So yeah,
It
he
looks like that's
takes
what he picked as his magic item.
17, looking a bit wounded, and you said what is it? Wisdom save?
Yes.
Alright. Oh, he would make that one, so he resists. But it
Alright.
does take a bunch of
Fair.
damage and now looks wounded.
Was a much better hit than Gamork's been doing, so he feels pleased.
It's a good
Okay.
shot. And it looks like the text for individual like types of arrows doesn't specify, but according to the text for arcane shot, generally speaking, you declare it when it lands unless otherwise specified.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, actually, I think I have. I have to mark that anyway. So that was one of his arcane shots, and yeah, here's the rest of the info. And then I don't think bonus action. Oh, that's cool. There's actually another shot I could have taken. I didn't see it before because I was looking at actions. All right, I think that's all for him.
Okay. So Sim, what do you want to do?
Well, my action here is fairly simple. I'm going to land a Sacred Flame on this vampire next to me. So, needs to make a dexterity saving throw, which I think these are going to be unfortunately good at.
Alright, so you point as a radiant flame shoots towards him, and he is pretty dexy, although he would fail. Surprising.
Hey, lucky me.
nice.
So go ahead and, or I guess that's 10 radiant damage. So he is burned, looking even more wounded, but still alive.
I'll
Anything
take
else?
movement to here, and I will spend my bonus action to impose my telekinetic shove on this thing. I want to get it away from me. This one here.
Okay.
Oop, sorry, I can put the text in if you like, but it's just a 5-foot push if it fails the strength save. There we go.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out why my pictures aren't working because it's not displaying them correctly.
Oh, goodness.
All right, so I'll figure that out later. All right, so telekinetic shove. He has to make a strength save. You said.
That's correct. DC 16.
All right. So he will indeed attempt. Which he looks pretty strong. And he would make it, so he is not shoved.
Okay. Well... Sure, I'll just step back over here then, and leave it at that. That's all for me.
Alright, so the creatures go. This one up here is going to have to deal with the radiant energy. So he's going to get up, make a con save. He will make it. That was half his movement. So he saw you attack him, so he's going to fly this way. Maybe. I guess that's still within 10 feet. Oh well, he's gonna try it. He flies at barrel.
Okay, I'll take a swing at him.
Alright, so use your reaction and swing. You would
Nice.
indeed hit.
Okay. I will go for the trip attack again as well.
Alright, so he takes 17 slashing, looking wounded.
And then he'll take 4 for the superiority die. And then I think the DC on the trip is 15. It is. Yep.
Alright. No, he is not tripped this time. He keeps his footing. And he is going to go for barrel. So he does a punch at first. Barrel, you are struck. He is not going to do a damage attack. He is instead going to grab you. And he is going to attempt a bite for his second attack. Oh, crit. That's not good.
Oh,
It's not good when the DM says that's not good.
Vampire barrel.
Yeah.
Barrel.
So you take 15 piercing and 8 necrotic. And I need a charisma save.
oh yeah, she's real charismatic. Oh, my stupid macro broke again. I have so much trouble with that macro. All right. Let's save. Here goes. Oh, God.
Alright.
Ooh.
So as this creature deals damage to you, biting your neck, you feel a strange infatuation towards it. Your max HP is reduced by the necrotic damage it dealt, which is 8. And the vampire gains 8 hit points. So it says the target is charmed and infatuated. I don't think infatuated is a status, but I think there is something for charmed.
Hmm.
Can't
I don't
attack or
think I
take
can.
hostile action against the thing that charmed you, I think.
I think you're correct, yeah.
Yeah, so you feel a strange love of this vampire as it's sucking your blood.
Do I need to make more than one con save on my...
Just one
Spell?
con save for now.
Okay,
It
she
still
passed it,
has a
yeah.
third attack, though, which it's going to use its unarmed strike to hit you again.
As I adore it.
As you adore it. You adore being pummeled by it.
It's
This time
punching
it
me, and
missed,
I'm
though.
like, I love
Luckily,
you.
I love you. So it would miss you. Luckily, you're pretty well armored as it's
The
biting
maximum
into you and punching you.
HP reduction was what?
8.
8 points.
8. Okay.
So this one here. So first of all, he is in the beam, so he has to make a con save, right?
Yeah.
Right. He did make it.
Still half damage on a moonbeam.
Yeah.
So it's only 2 damage.
He takes.
I rolled it at the
2.
beginning of the vampire's turn. So it was 5.
He's gonna move here out of the beam, and he is going to grab at Sim, or he's gonna punch you. Miss with the first attack. Take a second strike. What's your AC?
19.
18. So he would actually barely make that.
Ugh.
He is going to grab you, and he's going to take a bite attack with his last one.
Come on, just miss.
You are bit
Yeah.
for 6 piercing and 8 necrotic. And he
Okay.
gains 8 health. And you need to make a charisma save and a con save.
Can do. Here we go.
Alright, so you make the charisma save, but you would lose your spell.
Oof. Harsh.
So you're not infatuated with him. You're definitely not loving this biting thing he's doing. And that is it for them. Barrel,
Is there? Oh, let's see. I was just trying to see. Charmed. Is that what I should use? The little heart. Okay. So she's
Yeah.
charmed. And does that mean I won't attack him because I think he's amazing?
Yes.
Okay.
And you have
Would I-
advantage on ability, or wait, no, he has ability check advantage on you for social
On anything
interactions.
Oh, I
But
see.
you're totally free to attack this other one still, somehow.
But I
He's
can.
gonna,
Yeah, that was
if he
going to be my
asks you,
question.
if he asks you on a date, you have to look at it favorably.
All right. So action. I'll move the moonbeam. And
All right.
can I throw something when I'm grappled?
Yeah, you're just immobilized.
All right. So this is probably disadvantage with cover, but I'll try and like fling a pebble at this guy because I've decided this guy's amazing and is now our friend. But
Yeah.
that guy's still annoying, so I'll
He's
just
such
chuck
a
a
good
magic stone
kisser.
at him.
Best picky ever.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
Oh, my.
Barrel's finding out things about herself right now.
All right. So I always do the magic stone with a sling, and I'm not sure if that changes my macro.
13 wouldn't be enough anyway. So it
Okay,
just
all right, that's
flies
fine.
past.
Okay, yeah, because I've never done it where I just chuck the stone before, and I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to reread
Yeah.
the spell to see if like my macro is built differently because of the sling. I don't
Alright.
think it is. I think I used the spell stats, and it was just flavor that she always used her sling. Okay.
So that would be it for you, right?
Yeah.
All right, Reed, what do you want to do? Your people are being bitten.
Yeah, I think we need some.
It's not so
bite.
bad, guys. He's really pretty.
I think I can.
Hey,
I
who's
could
making
target-
a concentration check right now? That's weird. Oh, Sim. Did you? No, you didn't. You're never.
So that was a little while ago.
That's weird. I just got
I
an
failed it,
alert
yeah.
from that. All right, sorry, Reed. What are you doing?
I will. I'll move down to here and just take a shot at this guy in the moonbeam, and just do 2 Eldritch Blasts.
Okay, so you take some blasts at him. Do you have sniper or something that ignores cover?
No. Is there a space? Can I move to here?
Yeah, you'd probably want to be there, and that would be enough.
Okay.
Because then you could touch all 4 corners of the enemy square with one of the corner of your square.
All right. There's 1.
All right, that would strike for 12.
Oh, that one's not gonna hit.
He would dodge the second one.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, so new round, May, June.
I think I'll just what's the marching band term? About face? Yep, that's the word I'm looking for. But not exactly the thing that I meant. But I'm gonna start swinging at the one that is currently grappling Barrel.
All
Did you
right.
hear her start babbling about how wonderful he is?
Like, yeah, I don't know much about vampires, but well, I mean, honestly, he's just within range. It's convenient, but also, yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, and that one, I think I will. Well, fuck, he could. If he parries it, yeah, I don't like him. I'm pissed. I'm gonna make that precise.
All right, so yeah, 27 would definitely hit, doing 21 damage.
Okay, let me mark that used.
Well, this Barrel's friend.
I'm just roaring. I'm just making bear noises. And that one, okay, I'll let that one go, I think.
All right, yeah, 20 would strike.
Okay. And then I'll attempt to hit him with the blunt side.
Oh, he flies away
Oh,
with that second
good night.
attack.
Am
Then, yeah,
I
I'll-
suddenly like?
Yes, you are freed from the charm. Very confused.
Okay.
Anything else?
Then, yeah, I'll move here, and attempt to swing at this guy as well with my Polearm Master bonus action.
Whoa.
And that one, I will attempt to make precise as well with my final superiority die.
Wow,
yeah,
that's
that would
very
strike.
Man, these die are really
Beautiful.
coming through today.
Yeah.
That might have gone through anyway, but now that I know that it can parry, I'm not playing that game.
Alright, so he would fly away in a misty form. And
I'm
the group is
definitely rolling
safe
down the
for
hallway.
now. What do you all
Uh,
want to do?
Just double
Beryl
checking,
doesn't
Lou.
understand. Go ahead.
I suffered the hit point max HP reduction as well, right?
Yeah, I think you both took 8, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that will persist until you can do a long rest,
Thank you.
which you would probably. You might know if you have medicine or someone in the group has medicine. Or religion
does.
might tell you. Alright, so
I think
what?
Sim does too, doesn't he?
Yeah, I do.
You have That's what I thought I remembered you saying.
Yeah. So what do you all want to do?
Gonna
Beryl
inspect
doesn't
Beryl's
underst-
teeth. Do they look any sharper than they were like 5 minutes ago?
I mean, they were already pointed little teeth.
She might be a vampire. No, she looks the same.
You have to be killed by one of those things for it to get
Beryl
cursed.
doesn't understand what are those creatures.
And why was she so infatuated with them?
He seemed really nice for a second, but then I don't know what Beryl was thinking.
Yeah, I think we should keep going. These things are like Butcher. They're undead and evil.
I agree.
Alright, so where are you headed?
Looks like we got north and west.
Okay, so once we get to the crossroads, I'll turn and ask Reed, do you think that we should follow them, or do you think that we should avoid them?
Aren't we still looking for the library?
We are. Actually,
Ah.
assuming that would we know in this particular intersection the way to the library?
Yeah,
Since we've
no, you
been
can
through
keep
here.
going. This is actually just kind of a random encounter map, so you don't have to worry
Okay.
about that.
Excellent.
But you could try to follow them if you don't want to go to the library. They went in a different direction.
I think we're
Plus
still
by-
on the way to the
Oh,
library.
you're thinking
Yeah.
of something.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, that's... For some reason, some of my pictures aren't working. I'm not sure what's going on. Alright, so you would be able to travel the rest of the way, getting to the underneath of the barracks without issue. Which I think would be the lower passages, is what the library is.
Looks familiar.
Yeah.
The last one didn't.
We found Shock!
Oh. That's harsh.
Shock is not here, unfortunately. So you can pull yourselves into the library. I'll pull Sim into there since he doesn't have this map either. It would be...
Oh, into the library. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
When you ping, it like refocuses our screen. Like if we're on another point of the map, it like
Yeah,
flies us over to where you
I
ping.
do that.
I'd
I do
never
that on
noticed that
purpose.
before.
I can... Well, it doesn't always do that. I have to do shift ping to do that, but it's something I figured out.
Because there's been like twice today that it happened where I was like trying to do something with something and like it. Shoot.
Yeah, I just made it. I use that to try to center everyone. So as you enter, the familiar Chiron would be here. He greets you all. He might look a little odd to Sim, not seeing him before, as he is a large skeletal, like sort of gangly creature with huge hands.
I'm assuming that we prepared both Melody and Sim for what Chiron is.
They might be both be a bit taken aback by him at first. Here, I'll show you the picture in case you haven't seen him yet.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's being told, and then...
So they're also, you kind of see him off to the side in the back of the library with a bunch of books floating around him. He would look towards you and say, "Greetings, tribe. It's been a bit. Welcome back to my library." As the books sort of fly aside for a moment.
Iron, what can you tell us about these new creatures, these vampires?
Vampires. I am not aware of any new creatures. I know of vampires, but specifically, what are these vampires that you speak of?
I will create a minor illusion of the creatures we just fought and what they look like, and describe what they did, and how we saw two or four walking into the keep with chests, and then we encountered three more that we had to fight off underneath the keep on our way here.
How strange. I was not aware of any vampires. I do not know where they come from or who they are, who they serve. My apologies.
And we've also come to bring Melody here. We're still in search for our companions that have gone missing. They've apparently gotten lost into the Shadowfell. We need a way to bring them back, but we don't have the ability to do so. We do have a spell scroll that is a gate spell scroll, but none of us can use it. And I will show him the spell scroll with the gate spell on it.
So as you bring it out, he waves his huge claw and it sort of flies out of your hand over towards him. He looks at it and he says, "I cannot use this, but a powerful wizard might be able to help you. Unfortunately, turning into this creature, I lost many of my capabilities as a magic user."
Very well.
He looks to Melody, who seems a little bit taken aback, but she steels herself and kind of steps forward and says, "I will do whatever it takes to find Shock and the rest of them." He says, "I will most likely be able to use your help, my dear." Or he wouldn't say my dear, he would just say, "I will most likely be able to use your help. If you wish to stay, I can look into ways of bringing him back, or at least finding where they are in the Shadowfell." And she would nod.
I think.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, Lyra's studying at labs also. Chiron can speak with Lyra because of Hollow connection. Yes.
He says, "I would need the library is connected to the Hollow, but I would need an actual Hollow point here to speak with her."
Okay, gotcha. So he's got the knowledge, but not necessarily the communication. Okay.
Yes. He
Tribe
says,
could bring another of the pillars Tribe found in Vault. Tribe left 2 in Vault. Maybe just making suggestions.
"I think you left all 3 of them there, didn't you?"
No, we set one up. Yes, we left all 3 there. We set one up there.
I don't know if
So
you...
one is. That's how we ported from there. One is in use, has been used, and the other 2 are unused.
Oh, did you activate it in the vault?
Yeah, Nikolai and Tervin did.
I didn't fully remember that. Okay, so then yeah, there would be 2 still there. He says, "Well, there is already a hollow point within Issyk at the church or the cathedral.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to set up 2 more within the same city. Seems a waste."
Yeah, true. That is how Tribe originally came to Essex through the cathedral one.
But of course, I will leave that up to you. He says, "So what all has happened since the fall of Malik? I have been trapped in here. You say there are vampires now roaming the halls.
Vampires.
Barrel's neck.
Yeah. Groups of revenants outside, and we still have wandering groups of ghouls, although we don't have no idea who controls them.
Do
They
the
appear to be
Alhoons
in
not
league with the vampires.
the ghouls or the revenants?"
The
He
Revenant.
says. Ah, and you said someone else controls the ghouls now.
Well, we knew the Alhoons controlled the ghouls at one point, but now we don't know who controls the ghouls.
Strange. Further examination of the obsidian altars might yield some answers, but I don't know if I could do much from here. You might have to take a look at them yourselves.
Well, we used Butcher last time to perform the ritual at the altar to forbid the ghouls from entering the keep, but now Butcher is no more. But what would happen if we were to dispel or try to destroy that altar? Would the ghouls go feral?
Well, destroying the altar could be very dangerous, as those altars are powerful and could release lots of necrotic energy if destroyed. Uh, I would assume that if the ghouls were no longer controlled, they would just behave independently, probably attacking everything rather than being directed. It could be dangerous, both to yourselves when you destroyed it and to the city as a whole, if they were to just start attacking everyone.
But you think we could use Alter to learn more of who is in control or what the ghouls are doing?
Possibly, but I'd have no idea how to do that. I'm not a necromancer.
When we
I just realized it's like 8:04. Do we need a 5-minute break, or is everyone okay?
I'm okay.
All right. So yeah, he would say you might need more of a magic specialist to learn more about the altar, if you wanted to go that route. I would advise against destroying it. It could be very dangerous to you.
And there was also an altar in the cathedral, though, right?
He says, I assume the altars would both serve the same function. They're probably just different ways of controlling the same undead.
Okay. So, what does everyone think? What's our next move?
Well, given that we don't necessarily have a magic specialist, I don't know that the altars will afford us any knowledge in the immediate future. I think that perhaps our best bet is to investigate the one lead. Well, I guess now we have a couple of leads regarding the vampires, the revenants, and potentially Cao Meng. Perhaps we simply walk upstairs and see what we can see, tracking down the vampires who were carrying that box. Alternatively, perhaps we go investigate the hole in the ground where the revenants came from, but that could very well lead us just back to here. I think it was said that oh, that's right, it was Dinara. Dinara had mentioned that the vampires had been seen going in and out of the undercaves, so perhaps we'll find answers there.
My friend, whatever we find, it will be darkness and blood. And I rather suspect now that your friend has become a vampire lord.
Beryl like spins around to look behind her when you look at her. Like, who? Huh?
Not you.
Oh, okay. What
Count,
friend are we talking about?
Count Baron.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, we're talking about gotcha. Yeah.
So yeah, what are you all thinking? What do you want to do?
Is it late in the day?
At this point, it is probably about mid-afternoon, so probably closer to 5-ish.
Hmm. Oh no. I don't know if we should venture out again. If some of us are injured from that fight, maybe we need a long rest, and then we can. Uh, I know that we should investigate the revenants or go to the keep, and see if we could find um, more of these vampires. But I'm also thinking that we should at least go by the altar and see if we can use some arcana to see if anything's changed since we were there last time, since it's close by.
Before or after resting?
I would like to rest so that the whole party is at full strength.
Good. Um,
He says, "Well,
Chiron said,
you,
sorry.
Chiron would say, you are welcome to use this as a sanctuary as you did before. Also, I've used my magic to claim the outside area if you wish to rest out there as well." And he
Are
would
the Hezros still in there?
wave his hand, and this would open up, revealing the outer room. And it does not seem like there are Hezros in there anymore.
Oh, excellent.
He says, when I took control of the room, I was able to banish them back to the plains of hell, back to the abyss.
Chiron said you know about vampires in general, even though you didn't know about vampires in Essex. Can Chiron tell Tribe more about vampires? Like
I
how to fight
know.
them or how to avoid them?
He says, well, do you know what sort of vampire this was that attacked you? As there are several types. Why don't you
Call,
describe it to me?
called us food, gnawed on Beryl's neck.
They
Uh,
drank of blood and turned into mist when we killed them.
give me a religion check, if whoever wants to try to explain it to him.
Boo.
12. So he
God.
thinks about what you're saying. He says they sound like blood drinker vampires. Though turning into mist is not usually something they do. They're more of a lesser vampire, so that makes me a little bit confused. But yeah, usually they prefer to infatuate their enemies by grabbing them and drinking of their blood, which has a charming effect and allows them to keep doing it. So they can be very dangerous once they latch on to a single opponent. They are resistant to the necrotic energies as most of their kin, but they don't generally have the same vampire weaknesses as a normal vampire does, which is why turning into mist sort of seems strange to me. Perhaps it is a power being given to them by this place.
What are
I have no idea where they would have come from. I never knew of any such undead from my time in Issyk before the fall of Malek.
so there are no ideas on recommendations on what they're vulnerable to or
I don't believe they have any specific vulnerabilities, unlike normal vampires. Their blood is more tainted, and they are generally looked down upon in vampire society, being closer to Dampiers than actual vampires, which are half bloods.
But if they have this ability to turn into mist, then we can't destroy them.
He says, no, if they are doing this, I would assume they have coffins where they regenerate, or at least some sort of area which they could use to reform, as that's what a normal vampire would do. You would have to find their lair, and if they do have a coffin, you'd have to kill them there and destroy their coffins. I would guess it's somewhere below. The undercaves are quite large, though. It might be hard to track them down.
I say the next time we visit Isik, we bring an army of clerics and paladins.
Do you have one?
Oh, yeah.
Not as far as he knows. All right.
did.
So, yeah, what do you want to do here?
We should at least short rest.
Yeah, we'll short
Maybe
rest.
more than that.
We can short rest, go up. I just want to inspect the altar, see if I can see anything different. If I can't make anything out, we'll come back down here and long rest. And tomorrow we can explore the keep and perhaps visit the undercaves and see if we could find where these vampires are nesting.
All right.
It sounds good.
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right. So, first, the short rest would pass without issue if you want to spend one. And you said you were headed up temporarily.
Yeah, just a short trip up to the altar room.
All right.
Quietly.
So,
to
why don't
kinda
you
inspect it.
manually do that so Sim can kind of see this area?
All right.
We're carting the newbie around.
And the barrier does not seem to still be functioning when you walk through here, so it doesn't trap you, luckily. You get to this door, carefully pushing it open. Actually pulling it open because it opens inward. You see an old-looking room that is partially caved in. And there are two gems that are glowing, one on the north side of the room and one on the south side. I think you're going the wrong way, Beryl.
Oh, I thought they were going to the altar.
Looks like they went over this way. Alright, so you get to that north door, pushing on it. And it would open into another room going north. As you head over to this area here, there is a partially open doorway and a stairwell going up, which would let you ascend the next layer or level.
We must gather your party before venturing forth.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey.
So go ahead and pull yourselves in at the entrance here.
I have no vision.
Alright, I'll put you there then.
Also, Lou, it hasn't been relevant so far, but I do have the special warlock thing for 120 feet of dark vision. Because I'm special.
Alright. Well, there you go. You should have 120 feet now.
Thanks.
Actually, I'll set that to your character so you have it next time too.
Oh, wow, all sorts of handy features.
Alright. So you come up the stairwell into this old cathedral area where the pews are set up, and it looks like several of the doors have been destroyed, possibly in some massive fight in the past. And
A couple massive fights.
yeah, a couple massive fights. And you see in this room there is a dark obsidian altar.
Does the altar have inscriptions or writing of any kind on it?
Yes, looking closely, it does have markings, which... What languages do you speak?
Well, I read all of them because I actually took Guide to the Runekeeper.
Alright, so...
Nice.
They appear to... does it tell you what the language is, or just what it says?
The whole text of the ability is you can read all writing, and I don't know how to interpret it. which is why I wasn't quite sure what the deal is. If you want to know which languages I know personally, I know Abyssal, Celestial, Draconic, Elvish, Infernal, and Primordial.
This is Abyssal.
Great.
It is the demonic language. And do you have, or actually, give me religion or arcana or nature as a check.
Okay. Do I get any special friendship for having religion and arcana available? Well, not with that roll.
So you believe that the writings are some kind of ritual. They seem to give directions on some sort of ceremony that can be performed that would take probably about an hour and require about 2,000 gold pieces worth of arcane components. But you believe that it can be used to connect the chanter to the undead within the area. So this might be how the person, or whoever it was controlling the ghouls.
Oh. I will relay that finding to the party. The altar. Well, it gives instruction for ritual to join with undead, perhaps control.
The translation is a bit odd. Yeah, I think this is the first time anyone with Abyssal could read this, right?
Right. We knew what the language was. I think Lyra or somebody made a check on that at some point.
Yeah.
And we suspected that it was a ritual, and I think there was some clues, but yeah, we didn't know that much specifics at all.
It would take a lot of components, and perhaps an hour.
When
But looking around, it doesn't look like has anything changed since the last time we were here. Any clues?
Give me investigation if you want to look closer at the altar.
I am not good at this. And
You
20
might
is
notice
very
something.
slow.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to reload this.
You can use one of the other characters if you want.
For what kind of check?
investigation.
Investigation.
I mean, I've got a decent check, but it does not make sense for me to be making this since we're looking for signs of differences since last time.
Yeah. Gamork doesn't. Gamork and Barrel are allowed to get investigation.
It appears none of us are investigators.
I mean, I've got a decent check. I can make the roll, just I'm not sure what I would.
Wow.
There's no context.
Yeah,
Compare against. Yeah. Fair.
I guess I could just see if someone was here recently, but
I will make an inspired roll. How about that?
yeah,
Okay.
do it.
It's probably still not going to be any good, but
Oh, I can offer you guidance though. Gotta love that cantrip.
offer me guidance. Yes.
Yeah,
It'll be
add a
double
d4.
ones.
Add a d4. Okay, here we go. 16 plus a d4.
Nice.
Well,
Hey,
that's
there we
nice.
go.
Alright, so examining the altar, you find some scratches and some burns on it that are new. If you had to guess, you think that someone may have performed the ritual recently. Which might explain why the Alhoun lost control of the undead.
Could I look around the room with survival for like
You'd be
tracks or?
sure, but you might also be curious why the Alhoun didn't just perform the ritual again to take control back. So if someone did use the altar to steal away the undead from the Alhoun, for whatever reason they haven't taken it back yet. Or I guess because there's only one Alhoun now as far as you know.
Well, we only have his word on that. He told us the others were taken care of, but was very unspecific.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that Barrel would have any questions here, so.
Perhaps this bears more investigation of some kind. Reed, you mentioned coming back here with an army of clerics and paladins. Perhaps you would settle for army of ghouls.
when tribe when Butcher made ritual for tribe had to defend Butcher. Ritual attracted many undead, many ghouls, and tribe had to fight much. If if we tried if tribe tried
Well,
ritual or
you don't
any
think
tribe allies tried
Butcher
ritual.
did the? You don't think he did the controlling ritual because that was only like 10
Right.
minutes, whatever he did.
From Beryl's perspective, just in general, performing a magic ritual means you get attacked. That's been her experience so far. So that's what she's saying.
Yeah. Fair.
It's true. Action may be noticed. I do not know if it's a good idea for us to attempt ritual, but it is worth knowing it can be done.
All right. Yeah, I say we head back to the library. We call it a day, and then we regroup in the morning and set out to discover the vampires and root them out.
All right.
Sounds well enough to me.
Did you say you were looking for something, Beryl?
She was while they were looking at the altar, I didn't know if her survival would like be something where she could look for fresh tracks or numbers of people that have passed through or stuff like that, but I don't know that it's all that useful, so it's fine. That's what she was nosing around because she doesn't understand the magic stuff so much.
What's your perception?
17. The passive?
Yeah.
17.
Well, go ahead and make an active check if she's looking around.
Oh, sorry, still got pass without trace turned on there. Ignore that, of course.
So with the 19, there is a lot of signs of passage in this room as there have been several big battles here, mostly with your group. But you would notice a more recent set of tracks that look like smaller booted feet that come through here. Seem like they are near the altar for a bit, then leave through the north western passage.
Does it seem to be like only a single set or a group?
A single set.
Small boots. Our enemy wears small boots.
Yeah, humanoid size, so medium.
Okay. Well, you said smaller, so that's anyway. All right, so she would share that with the group.
Perhaps we should follow them. But again, maybe tomorrow.
Oh, that's actually a good point, though. Like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we don't have the resources right now, I think, to run into things.
All right, so you want to
We
head
certainly
back?
could try.
You want to head back downstairs and rest, or do you want to try to follow?
I think it's getting late. I think we should
Yeah.
rest for the night and come back fresh in the morning.
All right.
Yeah, let's do that.
So the group
Very
heads
well.
We were already. Pearl was already low on spell slots even before we went out today, so.
All right, the group heads back downstairs to rest for the evening.
But you said it's still fairly early, right?
I mean, it's late afternoon, early evening.
So yeah, I'd like to spend some of the time before we actually go to sleep, since we can't benefit from the rest until a little later anyway, crafting some more potions.
Okay. How many do you want to craft?
How much time do I have? Before, the start of our 8-hour rest would be?
So you want to go to bed by 11, and it's currently about 5:30. So you have about 5 hours.
I'd like to make 5 standard healing potions.
You can pull yourselves on wherever you want on the map. All right, just give me 5 alchemy checks. All right. You got some good rolls there.
Yeah. Ooh. And that's that'd be 150 in ingredients, I believe. I'll use the nature ingredients.
Yeah, and actually the 27 would net you 2 potions if you have the extra flask. So you would make 6 healing potions.
Nice. Yes, I definitely have plenty of flasks. So let me subtract those flasks right away. 6 vials. So we're down to 2 vials in the bag of holding, but of course we've got full vials. And
If I have the
then
guidance cantrip, is there some reason I shouldn't just be casting guidance for all of these?
the guidance
For
is a minute, and the
yeah,
Oh,
crafting
so
process
that
is an
crafting is
hour.
longer. Right, it's a
yeah.
So
time thing.
yeah,
There we
yeah.
go.
Yeah,
That's
and
what it was.
actually for crafting, you cannot buff crafting rolls. It just has to be their skill.
And are
So
these
you
all
can't use like
standard?
enhance ability or anything.
Are these all standard, Lou, or any of those empowered ones we've done before?
No, I kind of changed the empower to if you roll high enough, you just make 2.
Perfect. All right, so 6 standard. Beryl would also offer to hand these out. Anyone want to carry a couple of these and have them on their person? She's got 7 now in the bag of holding.
Yeah, I'll take one. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone should have one.
Yeah. So everyone take 2. And put them in your own inventories and track them there. And I'll put a couple in Gamork's if you want to put a couple in. Beryl will just take 1. Everyone. Wait, how many did I said I
Well,
had
you
7.
said
Never
you
mind.
had 7.
So
Yeah,
everyone takes 1,
Yep.
and then I'm gonna give 1 extra to May June.
Okay.
Ian, if you wouldn't mind putting 1 in Anna Kate's inventory, then that'll just take care of that.
Is anyone? So I'll go down the line. Reed, do you do anything during this downtime as you wait for time to pass for the rest?
Nothing in particular, no.
All right, so you just sort of rest and recuperate. What about May June?
I'm just gonna be meditating and just thinking about things and trying to wrap my head around what's going on and why.
All right, and what about Sim? Do you want to do anything?
I would probably go into the library and see if I can be of assistance in Kyron's research or in.
All right, so Chiron currently has Melody reading through a bunch of books. As you enter, he sort of looks you up and down and says, "The library has books on many different topics. If you wish, you can look through some of the shelves for books on plane jumping or just anything in general that you wish to research."
I will nod my thanks and just start walking the shelves and trying to learn the filing system and find things.
All right. So are you trying to help them look for planner travel, or are you researching something independently?
Yeah, I think I'm wanting to be of help in that endeavor.
So that would probably be intelligence, unless you have like a scholar background or something that would help you with libraries.
No, nothing specific like that.
All right. So, yeah, give me just a straight intelligence check.
Well, that's not the best roll I've ever made.
All right. Yeah, I guess your character isn't very familiar with libraries as you're looking around. You find maybe a couple of books to help them, but overall are not very useful. But yeah, time would pass. I'm going to pass the day now. So it is now the 62nd of autumn. You would all get a full rest, regain half your hit dice, all your hit points, all your powers, and it is
And
now,
our max HP.
yeah, and your max
Oh,
HP
yeah.
and exhaustion if you have any, which I don't think anyone did. It is now 7 a.m., but this might be a good time to pause since we're at exactly 8:30 as we prepare for your next journey, whether it be into the hole or somewhere else. Maybe following those footprints. So why don't we do an MVP vote?
Okay.
And yeah, for some reason, none of the pictures are coming up on my stream here. It's really annoying. Sorry about that, those of you who are watching. The monster pictures. All right, I got 2 votes. Three votes. Oh, it's a tie. So Sim and May June, give me D20 rolls. All right, so May June with 16, you are MVP. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I look forward to another immersive journal from Sim. It's gonna be
Yeah.
good.
He almost got
There's a lot of ground to cover here.
Yeah.
He almost got 3 points for today, or 3
It's
points total.
interesting with our group having just kind of reformed kind of with some new members and kind of having a lot of folks that have been out the last few sessions. It has felt like a slower pace, but I also think we are gathering a lot of lore too. So I think that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's kind of the benefit of smaller groups is you can focus more on lore and the individual characters more.
Yeah, we've set up a lot of dominoes. When they start falling over, a lot of stuff is about to happen.
Yeah. That's like one of my favorite and least favorite things about just open-ended opportunities. Being a completionist, I want to do every single thing, and so anytime I'm like, oh yeah, we'll just go check this out, and then checking marking this one thing off my list makes my list 7 things longer, and I'm like,
Well, the
I
other
actually,
thing,
I'm sort of an
Go ahead.
anti-completionist here. I love it when we miss stuff, and because I'm like, I know that's gonna come back to bite us later, and eventually when it does, it's always awesome.
well, we've
It doesn't
definitely
always,
learned.
but
We've
yeah.
definitely learned in this world that sometimes when you choose not to pursue a thread or a breadcrumb trail or whatever, that it may not, that trail might be gone when you return.
Sure.
that's good, and that makes it more. That's,
Yeah,
you
it
can't
makes
do
the
everything.
decisions more important. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, well, I'm just taking some notes, but you are all free to take off or hang out if you want to talk to me about something. But
Thanks,
yeah, we're
Lou.
pretty much done. Have a good evening. Stay safe.
All right.
Good night,
Thanks,
all.
Lou.
Take care.
If only those alchemy rolls had been like in combat.
Okay, let's see if I can get Anikate's sheet back to full.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out whether or not anyone could like give Beryl insight on like what to prepare to go up against vampires, but I guess we just didn't get a whole lot, did we?
Nobody knows anything.
Yeah.
If
'Cause
I'd
as a-
known
as
at
a
the
player-
beginning of this campaign that like how much like a cleric or a paladin would have just like been super useful.
Well, we had one. We had Rayless for the first year of the campaign.
But I mean, we've never had someone actually come up against a group of undead and been like, okay, I'm gonna use my ability to turn undead
Right, right.
or destroy
uh,
undead, you know?
Yeah. My Tuesday night character is part cleric, and she's usually a healer. But when we go up against a bunch of ghouls, she runs to the front line, and she's like,
Yeah. Tell you what, if Mei Jun is ever eliminated, I'll bring in an Oath of Conquest. He's a lot of fun. He's basically like a cocky Templar is what he is. Like, he thinks that his way is the only way and everybody else is sacrilegious. But he's really good at killing dead things.
re-killing them.
Re-killing them, yeah. Making them dead again. Extra dead. Yeah.
It is also it's such a weird time for this party because besides the party player changes and character changes and absences, we kind of are still straddling that, like, we finished one chapter or one campaign and kind of rolled into a new one, and we're still kind of getting our bearings on what we're going to be doing. Because I think the group, both in and out of character, has some attachments to unfinished threads of the previous storyline, such as our lost companions. And, Beryl still really wants to go find Drigda's family up in the Dwarf Mountains, but then on the other hand, there's like this whole new campaign. And so Lou's like rolling out new options, and it's like, oh my gosh, I want to go that way and that way and that way and that way.
As far as I'm concerned, going to the Shadowfell could be the new campaign. There hasn't really been any solid, like, hey, this is what the BBG's doing. No,
Right. Right.
I think that getting to the Shadowfell is the MSQ. That's what I think.
Nice.
But time will tell.
Well, I think it's interesting that there were, well, Yeah, I don't want to. I don't. Sometimes I forget myself and.
Spoiler
About that.
alerts! God!
Right.
Spoiler!
No, it's not. It was more conjecture.